Hey, how's it going? You are here for another live episode of Heavy Art Talk, the second one. And we got the same artists on as well. We have Lucas, Mark. What's up, guys?
What's up, Lee?
Thank you for everyone joining in the chat. I'm actually not able to see everyone in the chat just at the moment. But yeah, feel free to say hi, stop on in. And yes, so what we're going to be doing is the prompt exercise. So earlier this week, you guys gave us all a bunch of great prompts. We have about 40 of them in this little Old Salem magical moth wings powder kind of sort of case thing. But I'm going to shake it up. We'll pull them out, and 10 minutes per drawing.
Are you timing this, Lee, with like a phone or something like that? 10 minutes.
Oh my gosh! Well, now that my phone camera isn't going to work, actually, that'll be just fine. So
I can grab my phone too, if that's helpful to do the timing. If it takes a little pressure off you.
No, I think it'll be fine because
Okay.
I'm not able, just for everybody in the audience and stuff, having a little bit of technical difficulties with getting the second camera for me to work. So what I'll be doing is you'll be able to see Lucas and Mark while they're drawing, and I'll just give you guys peeks every once in a while. But unfortunately, I was trying to troubleshoot for like 30 minutes. It's just not going to work. So I'll use my phone just for the timer then.
Okay.
But yeah, you guys gave a lot of really interesting prompts. like Mark, you've never seen SpongeBob before, right?
I mean, I know who the character is, but I've never watched the cartoon. Just generationally, it's not my generation. So I saw mention of some of the characters. I'm like, I have no idea what any of that means. Some of the stuff I saw, like, I don't know what that is, but I'll figure it out, I guess.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, how have you guys been lately?
You go first, Lucas. How have you been, man?
Yeah, I've been all right. I'm here. If you know Midwesternese, when you ask a Midwesterner how they're doing and they say "I'm here," it means that they're in crisis.
Oh.
No, it's been a really hectic last couple of weeks. So it was my birthday this week, so that was cool.
Birthday.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm
Do we
43 and
I was gonna guess that. Okay. All right, cool, man. Happy birthday.
Thank you. Yeah, so yeah, I've started up on my commission schedule stuff for this year and got a lot of other stuff coming in already. So already looking to be a packed year. So that's good. I mean, I don't have too much else to say. I'm just happy to be here.
Sweet. Yeah, it should be a good time. What about you, Mark?
Busy, super busy. It's been hectic this month so far. I just wrapped up a rush job. Was it yesterday? The day before yesterday? I can't remember. I wrapped up a nom cover that had been lingering most of the year last year. I kept having to bump it back because of other commissions. But yeah, I probably got about 20 to 30 illustrations on my plate right now.
Oh my god!
Anything from like fashion to gaming to album covers to shirts to jewelry design. I mean, it's a total mixed bag of stuff right now. So, yeah, it's been super busy. A lot of definitely. I'm definitely the next few months are totally booked for sure. Right now,
like it.
Yeah. So I'm just trying to pick away at it as I can. How about you, Lee? What's up, man? How have you been?
Yeah, how you doing?
Besides technical difficulties.
Yeah, I mean, it'll be fine. At the end of the day, you got 2 drawings you can watch. I'll show you peeks. It'll be fine. It's just that's mildly frustrating. I've been sick all week, but it really wasn't that bad.
You bounced back yet, or you still under the weather?
It's like I feel just slightly more tired than usual.
Yeah.
And, like, I tried to go on a run today, and like my cardio was shit, But I mean, I'm fine, Like it's gonna be good. It's gonna be fine, and I like hung up some things today. Like I got this really cool. I'll plug it for him. Matte sticker print there next to the devil horns, and then I have a Chad Keith. You guys recognize him? He does a lot of the like neon kind of skull stuff. I have his over here, and it definitely fits in with the vibe. So like, I don't know. I just finished this like hour and a half ago, so I'm just feeling pretty good about that. And
I've got a lot of stuff I got to frame still. I just your last guest, I picked up one of her prints.
oh, Katie,
Yeah,
nice.
yeah,
Nice.
and Jonathan, who's on here, who's watching Lamentia, picked
Yeah.
up. Actually, he's super generous. Sent me some extra stuff, including I haven't even had a chance to like go through it to see everything closely because I arrived yesterday. But he sent a couple originals, so it's really cool, man. I got those just from both artists yesterday. But yeah, I've got probably I don't know 10 pieces I gotta look into having framed and put up in the studio here. So
Somewhere.
including you, Lucas. I gotta grab some from you still, man.
Yeah, no, yeah.
We'll work
I've
something out at some point. I know
I've
you.
like slept on pulling stuff for you, but I'll do that
That's
soon.
fine,
I'll
man.
do that soon.
Whenever it's good for you, because I mean, it's not like we're ever gonna lose touch, you
Right,
know.
exactly.
So, and I'm like I said, I'm still waiting to frame things, but that's good, Lee, that you're keeping on top of that with getting your studio wall all set up.
Yeah. No, I mean it's definitely inspiring, and then also just want it to look cool when filming and stuff. I want to mention this before I forget. If any of you guys are drawing along with us and you feel like doing the challenge, I think that'd be fun. That way it's more than just the three of us drawing and doing these prompts. If you do happen to do any of them, not all of them, just any of them, if you tag me, so literally in like your stories or something, I'll repost and everything. But I don't know. I just think it'd be cool for like it to be part of the larger community as well. And kind of speaking of that, before we get into it, I was just kind of curious for each of you guys, like how, you got a random drawing, so you don't know what you're going to draw, and you only got 10 minutes. So what does a 10-minute drawing look like for you guys? Lucas.
I mean, we'll see. No, I mean, I did a lot of, when I was in art school, we did a lot of like time gesture drawings and stuff, like still lives and things like that. And that's like an exercise that whenever I teach like intro drawing or like figure drawing, I always do with my students. Like we'll start off with like 30-second drawings, and then we'll bump up to minute drawings. And then I usually finish like that warm up in the morning or like the beginning of the day with like 10-minute drawing, which feels like a long drawing after you've been doing 30-second, minute-long drawings. So honestly, just start like really gesturally, just kind of feel out what I think it's going to be. I got some tools which I'll kind of show a little bit when I change my camera.
Sweet.
When I change my camera view, and I'll get what I can. Like I'll get a skeleton up, and then I'll try to put some finish on it, and we'll see how far I get in 10 minutes. It's really just like I'm kind of taking it as, let's just see how far I get. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm kind of in the same boat. I don't do a ton of fooling around sketching. I have a little bit more frequently in the last few months. And I don't have my blue line pencils here with me, but sometimes I'll grab a blue line pencil and just open up a newspaper online and just find some random thing. Could be a dog, could be a football player, could be a cup. It could be anything boring, in a photograph. And I'll just sit there and try to draw it because it puts me outside of my comfort zone, and it forces me to see the features of a face, for example, like the light and shade, highlights and shades, a little bit more. I have to scrutinize it with a little more detail and use my mind to like really divorce what I think an eye looks like versus the eye that I'm looking at right now. So it's a sort of a practice and observation, I think, more than anything else. But I usually will use like a blue line. So for this exercise, I actually bought some base pencils, which I haven't used since high school. So it's been, I don't know, 30 some years since I've used one of these. Hopefully it doesn't set me back with my approach. But I brought my mechanical pencil, which is what I usually sketch with for my regular ink drawings. So just as backup. I don't know how it's going to go. I'm kind of the same thing with Lee. I mean, sorry, with what Lucas mentioned in that boat where, you kind of feel it out first, gesturally. You want to try to think on your feet quickly and map out what is the composition going to be. and just kind of go from there, like really simple shapes to try to feel it out, and then maybe pop in some more recognizable elements just to kind of finish it a little bit, you know. But I'm same thing, Lucas. I don't know how far I'll get, but I'll give it a shot. I'm not used to being timed on anything, so hopefully it's not like a weird added pressure that messes with me psychologically. You know, you ever had that where you know what I mean? You get in your own head.
Well, in some ways, 10 minutes might actually feel like a long time.
And also
for a sketch.
the
that's what I'm saying. Like when I used to do like 30-second drawings, 1-minute drawings with my students, that 10-minute drawing felt like forever. You know what I mean? Like they wouldn't like get anything finished, you know, but they would get quite a lot farther than they did on those first couple of drawings where it's nothing but gesture. And we were usually using like charcoal for that stuff.
Oh, wow.
So you can work a lot faster. I thought about breaking out charcoal for this, but I don't know that I could get my camera up like quite high enough because you need like space. So you're going to use your whole arm when you're working with charcoal. So I'm sticking with pencils.
Something about the texture of charcoal is very off-putting to me. I've never liked that medium. But you'll do that sometimes? Even what about like a painting? Will you use charcoal in a painting? Like if you're starting a painting?
No. Actually, I used to not even, I mean, the way I was trained to paint, I used to not even do a pencil drawing underneath my paintings.
Okay.
I used to be trained to literally just take, you just take like a base color like burnt sienna or burnt umber. Sure. And you do the sketch in paint. They'd always tell you use a brush, use the biggest brush you have, gesture it all in, you know, and then you start to work on top of that and develop it.
Okay.
So I didn't start until this year actually even doing pencil drawings on my paintings.
Okay.
But yeah, it helped out. But yeah, charcoal used to be, I mean, it's something I've had to teach with so much. I don't use it a lot in my own, you know, work, but I had to teach with it so much that I'm pretty familiar with it. It doesn't bother me. I always just tell my students, don't wear white to class the first couple of weeks when we're using charcoal because you're going to look like a coal miner when you come out of here, you know. But that's about it. It's like it's good because it's very fast. It's like, you know, ink you can't draw really fast with ink because you're just dragging the nib on the paper.
Right.
And you need something where you can move your whole arm, and charcoal just does that. It just lays down a big fat mark really, really quickly. Yeah. So it's just convenient, you know.
What's
and
nice
you can work it quite a bit. You can get quite fine detail with charcoal if you keep working it, you know.
Okay. What about you? What about you, Lee? How do you attack?
Yeah, what are you thinking about doing? How are you going to approach this?
I mean, you guys know my personality at this point. Sometimes I'll get like super literal and highly detailed with my answers. But I mean, I'm definitely going to be thinking about shapes and form first and foremost, and then, you know, work towards details. Like I imagine you guys would too, but like I definitely like to keep it really loose and gestural. So I'll probably do a little bit of erasing, like to just like erase like some of my initial lines. I haven't done a time thing either. So 10 minutes could feel like a long time when I do something really gestural. I'm like, oh, that's done. But I'm like, oh, there's still 7 minutes left. I actually have to see it through. So we'll see. You know, I think for all of us, it's kind of a little bit of that. But
yeah. It's going to look like a bunch of blobs.
It'll all be about the shapes, though, for me to begin with, you know. Well, and I think the other thing, too, is, okay, so you have 10 minutes, but that's from like start to end in terms of concepting as well. So I might take a minute to literally just sit and think.
Yeah, same.
You know, that's the other element, too.
I probably won't do that. I'm going to be the idiot who just puts pencil to paper immediately and just like let it ride. I'll do like what I used to tell my students, like, you know, you guys ever heard of a blind contour drawing?
Yes, I've done that before.
Yeah, so it's when you can't see what you're drawing, but the trick is you're not allowed to pick your pencil up off the paper. You have to keep it on the paper and keep it moving. And I think I'm just going to do that. I'm just going to start drawing. I'm going to keep the pencil moving. We'll see what I get. Because I might get a prompt and have no clue other than I'm going to just literally interpret the words. Hey, Jonathan's in the chat.
Yeah, I'm going to post everybody. Yeah, there's a lot of, you know,
Kevin in the chat.
Nice. Marty,
what's up, man? Fred.
I don't see Fred. Cool. Hey, Fred.
Marty.
I don't see Marty.
Got Marty's package today in the mail. Thanks for that, man.
My friend Skylar, Skull and Sword Art, and James Balsamo. What's up, dude?
What's going on?
Nice. What's up, James?
And here, this is the pressure we need.
Yep.
Well, I guess you're probably leaving then, huh?
Yeah. All right. You guys ready to do your first one?
Yeah, let's get to it. I'm gonna shut my camera off and stuff while I move my phone around, and then I'll be on. Cool.
All right, cool. Yeah, I'll let you guys get situated just for a minute.
Sorry, guys. Hope I'm not making anybody dizzy with my camera movement.
What I did was I cut out a lot of random sizes of paper earlier. So I have like a lot of just random shapes. I'm just going to kind of grab whatever speaks to me for whatever the prompt is. So I got some pretty big ones, some really small ones too. Some sketch paper, some Bristol.
Oh wow, really? I'm using my favorite.
Oh yeah, man.
Trashy.
I'd be disappointed if you didn't use the copy paper. Were you already drawing something earlier?
No, I just doodling because I haven't used these base 2B, 4B, and a 6B pencils. I have not used these since high school, so I don't remember how they feel on paper. But I thought I'd give it a try, just because I was afraid my mechanical pencil wouldn't be dark enough to reproduce on the camera. So I grabbed the 6B thinking that might help it a little bit, but we'll see. I don't know.
All right, so this is what I've got. I got my favorite drawing pencils, which are my Statlers.
Oh yeah.
So I got these ready to go. I've got
nice. I use the same.
Got a blending stump in case I need it. I've got a retractable eraser in case I need it to do like spot erasing. And since I'm working on tone paper, I got a couple of white color pencils. We'll see if I can get a chance to get in any of that. But that's my tool set right here.
Man, you're hardcore, man.
Is that just like one of those Pentel, like a retractable erasers?
Yeah, it's a Factus.
Okay.
I think that's Pentel. I think it is. It's the same thing basically.
Yeah, I go through those things like crazy.
And I have one of these in case I need it. I got one of my magic rubs.
Oh, nice. All right, let's pull our first. And like I said, I think it was about 38 or so prompts.
Okay.
All right.
I'm going to shake it up.
Let's see what we get.
All right. Grab one at random here. And I'm going to be giving credit to whoever gave them as well. All right. So we have Bilbo Baggins Chillin' by Brad Habit Clothing.
All right.
All right. Mark, do you know who Bilbo Baggins is?
That's one of the Hobbit dudes, right? From Lord of the Rings? Do I have that correct?
Yeah.
All right.
All right. Let me get the timer.
Oh, my bad.
Oh, gee, I've already started. I'm sorry.
I know, we're just jumping the
I just like started working right into it. I told you I was going to be that idiot who just started.
Did you need to type that
Can't keep my hands still, you know?
All right. Bilbo Baggins chilling, and I'm going to highlight this for everybody to see.
That is so funny. All right.
All right. Give me a sec. And please, if you guys feel like drawing along, go for it.
Yeah.
All right. We are at 10 minutes starting now. No, 10 minutes. All right.
All right. Chilling.
This is so funny.
So what you guys been listening to lately?
I actually listened to the new Hell Witch again today.
Oh, hell yeah, man. Let's see, what did I listen to? Today I listened to Old Tower, which dark ambient. I think it's the latest one. It sounds a lot like a Cold Meat Industry release, in my opinion. It's quite good. And a band called Mel Tears, which is kind of like gothic industrial type stuff, I guess. Lately, like metal wise, Miscreants. I just got a bunch of stuff. The Glorious Dead just came in the mail today. Marty's band, and like pretty much all the Gurgling Gore releases just came in the mail this week. Thanks to Ryan from the label for hooking me up. Some stuff I ordered from Hell's Headbangers just came in. So it's just, dude, I have a ton of stuff. I just haven't had a chance to listen to it all yet. What about you, man? What are you spinning right now?
Oh man. My friend Jeff at Gas Masks and Hand Grenades, he was talking about the band Magnum a lot in like a stream, and it made me realize I wanted to pick them up because I really like prog rock. This is kind of like prog rock meets kind of proto heavy metal, kind of AOR. I don't know. I mean, it's got like some really cool Rodney Matthews art on the front, but I picked up that recently and I was digging it.
Cool. I don't have a ton of prog rock in my collection personally. Probably if I'm thinking of a prog band, I would say a Japanese band called Ars Nova. I like a lot. I think it's a Japanese duo. And I don't know. Are you familiar with Give me a straight line. I'm using this old Crypt demo, old Belgian atmospheric doom death metal as my straight line because I'm trying to draw a lamp post here. So
we're at 7 minutes left, by the way.
Oh, that's not too bad.
It's going faster than I wish, if I'm honest right now. I think I went too ambitious with this one.
I'm just trying to do this by instinct, you know? Like
circle.
I'm trying to remember exactly what the proportions of a Hobbit look like, you know?
Amazon gift card box. I'm using it as for a Hobbit door. Because if I remember correctly, they're kind of circular.
Yeah, I'm going to do that. I'm going to put a Hobbit door in there. It's going to be shitty composition. Whatever. It's a 10-minute drawing. What do you want? All right. One thing I don't really like is I don't know what the fuck I'm doing with this hand. How the hell would he be holding this? I gotta think about it for a second. Like this.
Yeah, drawing somebody relaxed
There
is
we go.
kind of difficult sometimes, you know?
There we go.
Especially with a stumpy little body like a Hobbit.
Shit, bigger.
How are things going on in your world, Mark, in terms of this drawing?
Oh, it's fine. I thought about this one a while back. So I was like, oh, I think I can.
Hey, that's not allowed, man.
Oh, see, I didn't look at any of the. I didn't even think to do that. I didn't even think to look at the comments.
I'm just effing around.
Yeah, I looked at a few of them because I didn't want any like major surprises where I'm like, oh, I just don't want to sit here like an idiot, you know? I don't know what to do.
I'll let Lee do that.
I mean, hopefully that won't happen, but today, but you never know.
All right, we're at 5 minutes or so. It doesn't. I have to unlock my phone to see the exact time, but it said 5 and just a little preview.
I should really get a little bit more background.
How many toes does a hobbit have? Do they have 5
They
toes?
have a regular number. They just have large feet, man.
Okay.
He's got like curly hair, right?
Yeah, that's what I thought.
They usually have curly hair. Yeah, I would say so.
Curly hair as well. This is kind of funny because this is like something I've would never draw. You know what I mean? It's just that's just kind of fun about this sort of thing.
All right, let's see. I did get a little white charcoal in here.
Yeah.
I'm trying to lay down a couple of darks just to make this a little bit more legible on screen, hopefully.
That's what I'm shifting to right now.
It's still really loose, but
3 minutes. Man, I should have said 12 minutes.
this is fun though. I mean, we get to see how we interpret this stuff, you know?
Well, I'm already learning. Don't go super ambitious with this shit. And yeah, using the dark pencil kind of here at the end is definitely helpful for. I guess I mentioned I was going to be giving previews. I haven't done that. Sorry. There's only so many things I can do and actually accomplish this drawing, I'm realizing.
Yeah, it's hard when you're hosting too, man. You're hosting your time.
Man, you're trying
with the with the first thing, it's like, yeah, we're a little more leisurely. This isn't kind of that pace. We're down to 2 minutes 19 seconds.
that's
So actually, I'm gonna start chilling out a little bit now.
That's plenty of time.
Lucas, are you doing any music stuff right now?
I got band practice tomorrow, actually.
Oh, good.
Or wall breaker.
That's going on. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, so I got to get up in the morning tomorrow because I got to be in Philly by 11 a.m.
Oh, wow.
So that's fun. It's the joys of being in a band with guys who live 2.5, 3 hours away.
Mushrooms. All right, we're down a minute something.
I wish I would have done all that. Ankle bone there. It's all right. Maybe not the worst thing I've ever drawn in 10 minutes. Okay. Call it done.
This is crazy, man.
$30 seconds. All right, that's time. Pencils down.
Pencils down. Tests up.
All right. Mark, what you got here?
Bilbo
I
Baggins
have to stand up.
Oh,
Chilling.
he's watching Netflix?
Isn't that what the youngins call it? Netflix and chilling? Isn't that like next
That was like 10 years ago, yeah.
Okay, that just dates me then. I'm so out of the loop. I'm an old man. I don't know any better.
I like the door detail you got there, man.
Oh,
Like
yeah,
he's still in his
That's nice.
hobbit hole.
Yeah, it's
Dig
just a
it.
stupid knot work. I don't even know what I'm doing, man. I'm just trying to give the idea of what it would look like. You know what I mean? So he's just sitting in a chair. It's basically you're looking at him from behind, obviously, and
It's a smart concept.
the thing with this sort of choice too is that it saves me time. I don't have to. All you do is infer the concept of chilling without even having to draw the character, so to speak. There's just the hair and the feet, which are identifiably
Yeah, no,
hobbit
that's smart storytelling.
So anyway, that's where I landed on it.
Nice. All right, let me pull Lucas up here. Sweet. You got the Y highlights in there too.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. I went,
Your
kind of
ended up being
literal with
similar to
it.
mine.
What's up?
Oh no, you go ahead.
As I say, I got pretty literal with it. When I think about Bilbo chilling, I think about Bilbo smoking.
Yeah.
So I just drew Bilbo smoking. I don't really like where I put the Hobbit door. After I heard that after I heard the Mark say like I'm gonna put the Hobbit door in there, I was like, oh, I'm gonna put it in. That guy kind of halos his feet, so that's kind of that's I might fly with a certain crowd, but no, I didn't do that on purpose.
I think it's fine compositionally, though. I mean, I don't think it's a bad, like the placement's a bad choice or anything at all. I like your emphasis on the ears, the brow ridge, the full, or I should say the full eyebrows. Those are very characteristically Hobbit-like, if I recall. Nicely done.
I often feel like a Hobbit, so I think they're like my spirit animal,
Nice.
Let me see if I can show mine. So mine is kind of similar to Lucas's in a way. I have like a scene here.
Oh yeah.
So he's like smoking under a tree.
Yes.
Nice.
And then it's like the first Lord of the Rings movie where it's like at night and they're like partying. There's like the fireworks over here.
Oh yeah.
So he's like under the tree, and there's kind of the Shire kind of down here below. So
yeah.
Yeah, nice. You got a nice little scape going on there. I like that.
That's cool. You got
I didn't get that ambitious. I was just like, I'm just gonna vignette this shit.
Yeah, I went way too ambitious with it.
That's cool.
Well, now you'll be calibrated, but that looks good for freaking 10 minutes. You managed to get a landscape in there. That's impressive.
No, I learned. All
right, well, this kind of sucks that I used my one big piece of paper. Oh no. Okay, I got a couple of other. I might have to use the back of one.
What's up?
Oh, I'm like, I have a couple more pieces of this toned paper, and I totally drew my Bilbo like really big on this big piece of paper. I was kind of hoping I could fit something else in on it, but we'll see. We'll see what happens.
All right. You guys ready for the next one?
Yep.
Yeah, just about.
You just tell me when.
All right, now I'm ready.
Okay. All right. Nice. Okay, so similar. Now we have Goblin, and this was suggested by Mark Jarrell and Dungeon Lust.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Oh man.
All right.
Yeah, I know
the illustrious Mark Jarrell and the illustrious Dungeon Lust.
Yes.
All right. Let's get goblining.
All right. Tell us one.
All right. And let's go. All right, so for this one, I'm going a lot smaller and a lot simpler. Trying the opposite of what I did.
All right.
What are you guys thinking in your approach this time?
I am, once again, going pretty literal. I'm just going to draw a goblin standing there menacingly.
yeah, I'm just kind of feeling it out right now, trying to figure out like what kind of I'm having the goblin kind of looking downward just a little bit, and I'm just trying to think in my head, well, what is he going to be wearing, which is obviously part of this is just how am I going to costume the character, and I think I want to have the hand going this way. I don't know what kind of weapon to give it him. I guess a mace.
I'm gonna give mine a spear,
Nice.
little barbed spear.
Do either of you guys follow as an account? His name's Goblin Prin. You ever seen any of his
No,
stuff?
I don't. I haven't. I don't think I've seen that one. But
I think you'd like it a lot. He's really
it
good.
sounds like something. It already just sounds like something I should follow.
Yeah.
I will say, like this year, I've been getting a lot more like tabletop RPG inquiries. I've got a couple that I've actually agreed to do
That's
some
awesome.
stuff for, like
Nice.
supplemental adventures and stuff. So I'm really looking forward to that. I mean, that's like obviously like shit I've wanted to do since I was like a teenager. So
That's cool, man.
yeah, I'm stoked on it. I'm definitely stoked on it. They're nice. They're like they're like bigger projects, so they mean quite a few more drawings. That's kind
Yeah.
of fun to do. I like stuff that's like where because there's a lot more work, it's like a lot more collaborative.
Yeah, I've got I don't know if it's RPG, some kind of gaming gig I'm working on too. It's more like a cover type deal than actual
Nice.
like art and like filler art or anything like that. I mean, I love doing filler art stuff too, but it should be fun.
Well, I just found out about this. Other people in the chat probably have already heard about this, and I'm probably like just really late in finding out. But there's like a new kind of newer like card game that's like Magic called Sorcery: The Contested Lands or something like that.
Huh.
And it's a card game kind of like Magic. The rules are a little bit different, but they have this cool thing where like their policy is that all their art has to have been like made physically.
Oh,
Like
that's
it has
cool.
to be like actually handmade paintings. Like they're like no AI art at all.
Yeah.
And that's pretty
pretty
fucking
cool.
cool. I guess a couple of cards were done by Seagrave.
Oh, wow, really?
Yeah, they also licensed some old Ian Miller art for it. They've got some like Ken Kelly stuff and Jeff Easley stuff, but they're also commissioning people like now.
Oh, that's
So
cool.
it's like would be sick to collect just for the artwork. It's on its own. Like the review I saw of the game, like it just looked like an awesome repository of cool fantasy artwork.
Huh.
Like all
What-
done in like the old school style, like actually painting on canvas or panel or whatever.
What is it called?
Called Sorcery: The Contested Land.
Oh,
You can
okay.
I think you can buy like a starter pack on Amazon for like $40. It's like got like four or five decks in it or something.
Oh, wow.
I don't play, like I never played Magic or anything.
Yeah.
But the idea of like the cards having like sick artwork on them kind of is sort of drawing me in. Like I might just collect them just to collect them,
Yeah. That's pretty cool. I'll have to look that up.
Yeah.
We're about at the halfway point on this one.
Oh, okay. I think I'm
Just giving you guys a heads up.
Yeah, this is a little easier for me. It's more like my wheelhouse, I guess.
Yeah, I'm definitely not sweating as much on this one, but that's mostly because of the scope in which I'm going after it.
Well, it's also we're like one in now, so we're starting to get a feel.
You
for it.
learn.
That first one, you're like kind of like, how am I going to even start one of these? Now you got a feel for it now, so it should go be a lot less. A lot less hectic feeling, What else do I want to do?
Give my goblin like a 6 skullet.
I'm gonna do Knob Goblin.
Oh, Lucas, yours is looking sick, man.
I'm gonna do
Thank
Goblin Shark.
You guys watching anything good lately?
I just finished Love on the Spectrum, which is a Netflix series about folks on the autism spectrum trying to find a relationship.
Yeah,
Interesting.
that's a good show, man.
Yeah, it's interesting.
Very cool.
There's a few seasons of that. It's all Australian too, right?
Oh, is it Australian? I'm not sure where
Yeah.
they're. I know actually. I mean, it's American. Yeah, because Atlanta. One of
There's
them's
definitely
Atlanta. One of them's.
the original was Australian, then I guess.
Oh, it may have been. I can't recall. But yeah, they're like U.S. cities. I think Chicago, Atlanta, and Massachusetts area. I think New England area. Yeah, it's pretty good. I like stuff like that. I like shows about creative process too. So like if it's a competition show, like it could be anything from like glass blowing to like mask making to like fashion design, like all that stuff. I just like to watch when people are tasked with something, how they approach it. You know what I mean? How they problem solve
Yeah.
it. To me, that's
Yeah.
really fascinating because that's what we have to do. Like that's what we're doing right now. Literally, we're problem solving right now. You know, we're putting our minds to use to figure this thing out. You know, as we go along. And this could, this could look so many different ways, but we're each kind of doing it. This is just our initial interpretation. We're each kind of doing it our own way. But I like to watch it. I like shows like that.
I was a really big fan of that show, Forged in Fire, the one where they make knives and swords.
Oh yeah,
I like that one because they do an actual like critique when they even call it a critique, which is kind of rare for shows like that.
That's cool.
And it's kind of cool. It's like actually informative. They they talk a little bit about the history, not like super much, but it's still kind of cool to watch, and you get to see a lot about the kind of creative process, and they're like pretty honest with the critiques, but they're not like nasty. They're like it's like actually like good teachers, like they would be good teachers. The judges on that show, I kind of like it for that. It feels like, man, that's sort of what I always aspire to in my classroom, is like the kind of critique where people feel like they learn something from it, and not just like get torn apart or something,
Yeah, and that's what it should be. Critique should always be a learning experience. You should always be able to walk away with some new knowledge or a way to improve upon what you've already worked on,
Yeah.
Exactly. I think that's really, it's about having that open conversation, putting your, and having the humility to put your ego aside and really listen, because there's other people with different vantage points, who can really give you a new direction or a better direction.
Exactly. I always say, like, my goal is always to help someone find a way forward with what they're doing, right? Not like stop what you're doing, but find a way forward. Like, how do you move it to the next level?
Yeah.
It's a really good point. We got 45 seconds left.
Oh, right on time.
Yeah, I'm just about done too.
A little smudgy.
Dude, you popped in the highlights too, man. What are you using, Lucas? What is that?
It's just a white Prismacolor white color pencil.
What were you using before? Like, what was the other tool? Is this a regular one of your Stradler pencils?
Yeah. I got a whole bunch of them. I got a set that's like HB through 8B. So they get pretty dark. It's one of the things I like about these Statlers is they have a pretty high carbon content, like the darker ones, the softer leads. Yeah. So they get pretty dark without getting too shiny.
Okay.
Yeah, I used to do these big graphite drawings when I was in grad school.
Last time.
That had like hand cut elements in them.
Yeah.
And it needed to like kind of look good in the gallery, and I didn't want them to be too shiny. So these Statlers are what I found that were like kind of a good middle ground between like your regular Prismacolor pencils and like a carbon pencil, like a charcoal pencil.
Yeah. I like it. It's got a really high contrast. Man, maybe my camera isn't that great because everything looks blurry. And my 6B doesn't even look like quite as rich as what you're using over there.
Oh man, 6
Yeah, it's because I got this 8. I've got a this one is like a freaking, I don't know if you can see that, but it's a freaking 8B.
Yeah.
It's like really dark.
Nice.
Well, talk through yours a little bit, Lucas, and maybe see if you can put it just a little bit closer too.
Yeah, I mean, let me see if I can move my camera down just a little bit here. There we go. All right. So yeah, I just kind of went in and gestured in. I mean, I love to draw things like goblins, so this was like kind of right on the tip of my tongue, so to speak. So I just kind of started gesturing it in and kind of feeling it out. And once I got kind of a skeleton that I liked, I just started to kind of flesh it out a little bit. I mean, it's one of those things like you could keep refining. That's the cool thing about drawings like this is like it starts out rough, but you could keep refining and refining and refining until you get something really, really tight and detailed. But what's fun about these to me really is when you start loose like this, the drawing has like kind of it lacks that like stiff quality that you sometimes get if you start too tight.
Yep.
So one of those things I always like kind of try to tell people is like, if you start tight, the only place you can go is tighter, which is why you end up with constipated looking drawings. You know, it's like you got to start loose to draw tight, you know?
Yeah. Yep. That looks good.
Yeah, that's awesome, dude.
Thank you.
I like even just it's sort of even just the composition. Like it's nicely done. The spirit kind of coming out toward you in the foreground. Even the way you did the feet. Like I didn't think to do the feet. I didn't pay that much attention to the feet on mine, but just that little added the pointed tip on the feet kind of echoes like what you would think of like a goblin nose might look like, you know.
Looking at too many strange house posts.
Mm.
I love that account. I freaking love that. I love that person's artwork. Really cool.
Yeah, that artist is great. Here, Mark, let's pull yours up. You got some like reporting details here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is a goblin. That's fucking sick.
Well, no, I mean, this is the thing. Like, this could go so many different ways.
Mm-hmm.
This is just where I ended up. You know what I mean? It could be any position, really. This is what I went with. It could be any weapon. It could be any kind of shield. I just stream of consciousness just made it up as I went along. And again, to your point too, Lucas, this is something that, you know, you start really rough and maybe you do 2 or 3 of them and you settle on one as another, you know. This is just my initial, hey, draw me a goblin, you know, and without really thinking too hard about how it's going to end up. But yeah. So it's just a little bit more attention to the face, but I think that's sort of human nature to want to, let me put all the details in the face and not care about when I reach the feet. The fact that I didn't even have them in there. And I was just going to have like a little.
Rob Layfield did a little bit, huh?
Yeah. Exactly. You know, I
should say thanks to Noah for the compliment.
Yeah. So my house here.
Looking good in the chat. Cool.
I'm sure.
I like the dynamic pose on that one, Mark. I really like that pose. It has like a nice, to me, it has a nice sense of gravity to it. Like I can feel his center of gravity kind of shifting, you know, as he's about to swing that mace.
Yeah.
So I love that. I love the hand that's kind of in front with the shield that's down. I think that pose is really, really, like kind of sucking me in. I really, really like it. I like that there's an indication of like more shit going on in the background too. Like there's more dudes. So I don't know if it's like a battle. I like the idea that it's almost like a battle and it's like first person. So we're about to get our brains kind of bashed out by this goblin dude. Goblin berserker.
Because I actually really like your pose a lot more. It's funny how, but that's the thing. Like you see it this one way initially, and then you see how somebody else does, and you're like, oh, I could have done it that way. You know, I could do it that way.
No, I like that. I like that pose a lot. I love the gravity of it.
Cool. Thanks, man. Where'd you land on yours, Ali?
And James said the little shadows in the background really help give a sense of environment.
Cool. Thanks, James.
Talk about yours, Mark.
Nice. Thank you.
And for you, Lucas, Fred mentioned that he's hinting that Strange House might be on the show soon.
I saw that. I'm excited about that, actually. That's fucking sick.
Yeah. I'll have to look that up. I don't think I've seen that account yet. I'll have to look that up.
Yeah, really cool.
You should look it up. Yeah, there's some cool stuff on there. I love that person's artwork a lot.
All right. So I went the opposite of my last one because I bit off way more than I could chew. I just went for a head.
Oh yeah.
Did a little,
I
little
like
bit
that.
of a head study.
I like that portrait. Hey, that looks really, really nice. That's pretty finished. That actually has a nice degree of finish on it.
Well, that's what happens when you just do a head, you know.
You know what it reminds me of is something like Peter Bruegel the Elder, the Flemish
Oh yeah.
painter. It kind of looks like, or maybe who was the artist who did all the fruit faces? You know what I'm talking about? From the
Yeah. I have a Bruegel book right here.
It kind of
It
reminds
has the
me.
fruit faces in it, but
the profiles he would paint have those funny elongated noses and like awkward noses and stuff. Just kind of
he liked to paint really freaking weird looking people, like on
Yeah.
purpose.
Yeah.
He had kind of a sense of humor about the way that he painted.
Yeah.
People. So, this book that I have is mostly his kind of big landscapey stuff. So there's not a lot of close up figures.
Okay.
I wish I could pull something up. Oh yeah, no, here's a good one. Actually, this is almost exactly right.
There. Look at that. That sort of reminded me of.
Yeah, for sure. You just got that right on lock, man.
I got that right on the
nose. I got
nose.
my bookshelf right here. So I'm like,
yeah, that's crazy.
Right out of the holster. Art books right out of the art book holster.
I know, dude. Nice. Oh.
But yeah, I like your I like the little detail of the teeth, even Lee, in your piece. I think that's a nice touch. Sort of that like little grimace.
Yeah, no, I dig it too.
And look how high up the ear is set on the face. You know what I mean? Usually human ears aren't quite that high set. It's the beginning of the ear usually starts where the brow starts, and you've raised it a little bit, kind of give it that sort of that more non-human appearance, you know?
Yeah.
Very exaggerated.
There's a lot of personality. There's a lot of personality just baked into that, which is really nice.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Nicely done.
Yeah. I think I was intentionally trying to make it more like not human ears, but I wasn't thinking about the anatomy of it by any means. I think that's you're giving me too much credit there.
Well, that's the thing too. Like, look how we each interpreted it. Lucas and I decided to go full body, and we could have just done. I wasn't even going to do the full body. I was just going to do part of it, but we had the extra time, so I'm like, all right, I still have a couple minutes. I'll throw some more things on. But I like that. I like to see we all chose differently how to approach it. We don't have to show the whole story. You know, it's part of the story is enough.
Oh, yeah.
Cool. All right. Another one.
Sweet.
We're getting through these pretty quick. It's not even 10 yet. All right. What do we got? Lucas, you're gonna absolutely hate this one. No, I'm just kidding. So we have Baba Yaga House, and this is from A Different Stitch.
Oh, that's my partner.
That's what I said.
What is that again? Baba
Yaga House.
How do you spell that? I need to look because I don't know what the hell that is.
BABAYAGA.
What is it?
It's like a house with like what rooster?
Yeah, Baba Yaga is like a folklore monstrous like woman or witch sort of thing.
Oh, interesting.
And she has like a hut that's like on chicken legs.
Oh, okay. What the? Okay. All right.
You want to look it up? You can do.
I did. It's funny. It's cool looking. I think I've seen it before somewhere in passing, but I didn't know. I never heard of it. I didn't know that it had a name. Okay. Lee, did you want to pop that into the?
Oh yeah, I keep forgetting to do that.
Yeah, I can't remember if we did it for the last one or not. I don't think we did. It's all right.
Baba Yaga House. Okay.
Freaking jumping the gun.
Do you guys know what folklore is that
and
from?
We're starting, Mark.
That's no problem. Is that Dutch or something like that? Is it like a Dutch?
I don't actually know. I kind of assumed like Eastern European maybe, but I'm not 100% sure.
If someone in the chat wants to look it up and let us know, go for it.
Yeah. I don't know if Alex is actually watching. I know that she told me she suggested that.
Well, she'll be excited.
I was like, go ahead.
So I love drawing chicken feet, but I don't love drawing houses. I'll admit that. Not huge into drawing architecture. Or I mean, I can, but it's definitely not my favorite thing to draw. I don't know about you
You
guys.
can keep it. I say you can keep it in the hut, firmly in the hut territory.
Yeah.
You know, think hovel. So it doesn't really have to be. I don't think it really has to be that symmetrical. You know, it can be a
Yeah.
little. It can be wonky. You can get wonky with it.
Yeah, I'm exaggerating mine.
Yeah,
just a
I'm
little
trying
bit.
to do kind of a similar thing. Yeah, kind of all going with the flow of everything. There. Let me go ahead and highlight somebody.
All right.
It's amazing how fast you go, Luke. It's like you're nearly done, man.
I'm not done. I just feeling it out, man. Just feeling
Yes.
it out. I try to say, like, honestly, like one of the best ways to one of the best things to practice is trying to draw shit as fast as you possibly can, and
Yeah.
like just don't overthink it. Go with your first instinct. 'Cause, you know, the thing about like doing short drawings like this is you can always just do a bunch more. You know what I mean? You don't
Yeah.
like it, just do it over.
Yeah.
Do another one. You don't like the idea, do another one. But this way you get a bunch of shit out on paper really quick, and it's like a really good exercise for just like keeping it loose. As my one of my instructors used to say, keep it fresh. Keep it fresh. You don't want it to get all stale looking because you're getting too bogged down in details.
Yeah.
That sounds rich coming from me, but you know, I said you gotta start loose to get tight.
Yeah, one
No.
thing I've noticed watching my daughter draw is how tight she is. Like, you know what I mean? How stiff she is when she's drawing. I've been trying to encourage her to just scribble, you know, just to loosen
Yeah,
up.
it's the very first thing very first habit I have to break my students
Oh.
of, especially if they come into the classroom with a little bit of drawing experience. The ones
Yeah.
who've never drawn before are in some ways the easiest ones to teach because they don't have any bad habits, because they don't have any
Right.
habits at all. You know, it's the
Yeah.
ones who come in and they've got some skill, but they've got some bad habits. You know, that you got to get them out of their comfort zone. A lot of times they're kind of resistant at first. You know, but that's one
Sure.
of the first ones to stop drawing stiff. Like draw fast, draw loose, hold your pencil like this weird way. You know,
Oh,
forces
yeah.
you not to.
Overhand. Yeah.
Forces you out of the
Forces
habit.
you not to get too, like, as they say, like, don't get too precious with the drawing. Just like just keep your pencil moving. You know, that's like kind of the biggest piece of advice I can give. Like, just keep the pencil moving.
This is kind of fun because this is totally out of the ordinary for me.
Yeah.
like it.
I'm actually liking my drawing quite a bit. I think it's turning out pretty good.
Lee, can you pop it up? I kind of want to see where you're at. I want to see what you got.
Yeah.
It's a little progress report.
Oh,
Oh, nice. Yes, yeah, dig it.
Uh,
Hell yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I'm working with the vertical paper. That's why I was trying to cut different shapes to get inspired differently. All right, I'm gonna get a time update. We're about halfway there.
Okay.
Cool.
You know what this kind of reminds me of? Like something Steve Gamble would do, right? Do you guys know Steve Gamble, the Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark books?
Oh yeah.
Kind of reminds
Oh
me
my
like
God.
something he would do, right?
Like when I was a kid, that shit terrified me,
Oh,
but
yeah,
also
same.
fascinated me.
Yeah, me too, man.
Like there was one drawing, I think it's that story. Maybe you guys remember this one. There's one of the stories in one of the books where it's like the guy, there's like like the corpse of a woman is like walking around his basement.
Yeah.
And it's like there's like it involves a finger bone on like a communion tray at the end of the story or something weird.
Oh, God.
But there's like a drawing of this like rotten zombie face.
Yeah, I know
That,
exactly.
like
what you're
literally
talking
gave
about.
me nightmares as a kid.
Yep, same here, man. That's just burned into my brain.
Yeah.
It's funny, like that dude was actually a pretty huge influence without even really, you know, intentionally being an influence, but
Yeah.
just something just really creepy about his approach.
Yeah, it's funny because his other artwork isn't like that. Like that was like the only thing he ever did that was
Oh,
like
really?
that. Like he was like a watercolorist, I guess, who
Yeah.
did
Okay.
like really, really nice. Like he did other children's books, and he had kind of a very whimsical style. But
Ah.
it's just like all the drippiness in those
Yes.
drawings that he did for the scary stories, just like took it to a level of like terror that I don't know, like it's almost unmatched in some of
Oh,
the
I
artwork that's even to this day. It's like
oh I agree,
holy
man.
shit, like he hit on something that's like
Yeah.
strikes a psychological nerve like that.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like for me, when I see that stuff, I still like, oof, I don't know if I'm gonna sleep tonight.
Dude,
You know?
that's a great way to put it. How are we doing on time, Lee?
3 minutes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Oh wow, yours. I like how dynamic yours is, Mark.
Oh, yeah. I'm just trying to be
Oh,
goofy
nice.
Going
with
with the
it. Man.
underside of the house, that was a smart decision.
Yeah,
Yeah,
just
the
just
pose
something
is really great on it. It's
something
awesome.
different.
And that's the one thing I will say is like, because I'm kind of going with my very first instinct. It's kind of I've been drawing kind of static looking stuff just because I'm more like I just want to get the bones of it out on paper.
Yeah.
But I think if I was doing something like this for a commission, this would just be like sketch one. All right, let's
Oh,
kind
yeah.
of knuckle down and figure out what would actually be a good way to portray this. You
Yeah.
know?
I hear that completely. Yeah, this is just, and sometimes your initial thought is the right one, but sometimes it's not, or there
Yeah,
maybe it is, but there's ways to improve upon it,
Mhm.
exactly.
This was a good prompt. I'm glad we picked this one.
Yeah, this one's crazy, and I learned something new. Like I never heard of this thing before. Need a circle. Using a liquid death can. Whatever works.
Exactly.
What's
Whatever
your
works for everybody.
favorite flavor, Mark?
I just like the regular water, man.
So
I
not
haven't-
sparkling?
No, I don't like the sparkling water. In general, I just don't like sparkling water. That didn't work out well, but whatever. No, I just prefer the regular water, and I don't even. Every once in a while, I'll drink this stuff, but I just happen to have a can. Looks cool, so I just happen to have one sitting over here in my studio.
Lee, next time we do this, what we should do, we should make it like a trivia component where we have to not know what it is and like be able to figure out from like a riddle what we're supposed to be drawing.
Oh my god!
If you know how to
Add a
execute
little,
that, I think it's
add
a
a little
cool
extra
concept.
layer. Let's make it interesting.
Yeah,
I'm down. I'm always looking for ways to game it. That's what I like about these live drawings. At least what I've been trying to do with this one and the last one is like I want it to feel like a game. Like think of the
Yeah.
joy you get when you play Pictionary.
Oh hell yeah, man!
That's what I'm trying to like
that.
bring to these because it's more like a hangout than, at least at this point, than work on something serious. That's at least what I'm trying to do.
I think it's good for it to be a hangout.
All right.
And I'm
7 seconds.
Really knows, I'm in my 40s. I don't get to hang out really anymore.
Yes, I'm here, man.
My hanging out days are unfortunately feel like they're behind me a little bit.
All right, it's up, guys.
Well, all right. Ooh, the string mark
All right. All right, Mark, you're up.
Oh gosh, I like that.
Once again, dude, full freaking scene, dude. So
Yeah.
awesome.
Just a freaking neat
just
way to
kind
show it.
of, I think that the thing is just like having never seen it. I'm like, I just did a quick look online just to see what is this concept, like what the hell is this thing, and the what I got out of that peak is that this thing is rickety. You know, it's not stable. There's sort of something. It just looks sort of asymmetric, the whole structure. So I wanted to kind of give that sense of imperfection or exaggeration. So even like the perspective is probably not correct. I'm just trying to make it up as I go along. But I wanted to give it some sense of dynamicism. And even here, like you can see, I've obviously run out of space at the top. That's okay.
Yeah.
But for me, like the choices, like you have this character. This is completely subconscious, right? You have this character like falling out of the front door or whatever. But if you look at the way this thing moves, your eyes going like this all the way across. Then you hit the sun in the background, so your eye moves all the way across the page, from here to down here, and that's echoed here with the claw, the foot, So it's sort of subconscious, but you have this sort of sense of motion, even with the base of the house just kind of falling apart here. And that was just like completely subconscious. I didn't really plan that, so to speak. It's just where my mind went. But I think that's some kind of intuition you develop as you go along, with drawing a lot. But I think that the thing too, just looking at what this thing was, is seems to be a sense of scale too with this house. So I wanted to kind of portray that here by having the foot, you're seeing the base of the foot rather than, side view or whatever.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to give it a sense of scale too, and in addition to like it being sort of unstable. But I don't know, man. I just have like this little, I guess, supposed to be like a farmland or something. I don't know. It's just weird to me, man. Not something I'll ever draw, but it's just, again, like a fun exploration. So that was a cool prompt.
I like it.
Yeah, you killed that one.
Thanks.
Before I comment, I wanted to say, like, I saw Jonathan commented that we should do it like Mad Lib style, where like we start drawing something and people comment stuff to add while we're drawing it.
That'd be so funny.
Yeah,
That'd be freaking
I think
cool.
we should do that.
That was actually a really neat idea.
That was
I want to echo Mark. I think it's not even just like the visual like lines that you've created with like the feet and like the perspective on the house. It's also like the implied motion also goes in the same direction. You know what I mean? So
Sure.
you get this like really, really nice like diagonal going through that composition that really like kind of grabs me and makes me feel like the motion of it. I think like even the skewed perspective is like works for it. Like it's one of those cases where it may not be right, but it's
Yeah.
right for the drawing. You know what I mean? Like
I know what you mean.
sometimes we need to do that. We need to kind of let go of what we know to be reality and like go for. But this works better for the drawing. Like it's got to serve the drawing in the end, right?
Right.
I think that was a really good choice to just kind of keep it loose and like kind of emphasize the ricketiness and not get too tied to like architectural integrity or something like that.
Oh, right.
So yeah, I like it. I think that the motion in it is just really, really great. So once again, it's like the other piece you did. There's like a great sense of gravity and a great feeling of motion, either imminent or like in kind of in the moment,
Sure.
Yeah, Marty makes a good comment too. Like that foot in the foreground, it just kind of gives you that uneasy feeling like you get trampled by it. Like for me, it's like there's such a sense of calm, and not the I'm looking at the lines, not the subject matter. Like just the fact that like you just drew in some guy falling out a window, and like that idea just came in the middle of like, for me, this is like a 10-minute flurry. Like I'm like, going really fast. And you just came up with this idea of the guy falling out the window. Like, I don't know. It's like I didn't have time to think of clever ideas like that. Yet for you, it just was like that. So cool.
But I think part of that just comes with when you do it a lot, just drawing in general.
Yeah.
Like you guys, I'm sure you're the same, and maybe probably some of the viewers here too. We draw pretty much every day. something,
Oh, yeah.
even if it's for like 5 minutes. I'm picking up a pen every day, so I think that just comes with time, if you're and also maybe personality too. How you have to have a little bit of wit, especially and when you're forced to do something in 10 minutes, it's like you gotta be witty, you know. It is hard. I agree. It is. There's still like there. Don't get me wrong. Like it's a total flurry for me as well. But I'm just like, as I'm working on one thing, I'm thinking, well, what comes next? In the back of my head.
That's cool, man. Let's see what you got, Lucas.
Oh,
yeah.
Nice.
Got a once again pretty sort of static presentation here, but I kind of like stuck with I really wanted it to be like a hut, so like kind of a little thatch roof, little straw roof on it. And my favorite thing to do, like whenever I get a chance to draw like anything, but especially when it's something that's like kind of a hybrid thing, like a hut with chicken legs coming out of it, it's like the transition area between the two parts is like my favorite thing to do. So like making this like weird, like kind of like girdle of feathers around the bottom of the house was like the part that I was finding to be the most fun, kind of sweet, like, oh, how would that actually work? Like, what would the transition from wood to like chicken body actually be? So that's what I kind of got a little maybe in the weeds with, but that's kind of my favorite part of the drawing.
I think two things for me that I'm seeing in it. One is the texture. You have the scaliness of the feet, and then you have the wood of the hut, and then you have the straw and hay. Those are three very different textures, and they're all coming together in this one piece. In addition to that, you've kind of inferred a face of sorts.
Yeah,
with that,
yeah, that was totally unintentional.
yeah, I figured it might be, but even like the beak of the chicken or
Right.
bird, you kind of have a sense of that too, with the way in the crotch area it's sort of like hanging lower and the feathers are falling out. It's just kind of gives it a more bird-like quality.
Yeah.
Nicely done. Nicely done.
Thank you.
Really
Yeah, it
nice.
started to feel like it had like a chicken personality as I started to get farther. Like, oh, this house actually is kind of like a chicken, like on its own.
Yes.
It kind of has like a tiki vibe to it. That makes me want to have like a Mai Tai right now, dude.
yeah, I guess it kind of does have that kind of feel too.
No, I like it, man.
It's interesting because
all coming out of it.
The way that the houses, like we each have drawn the house, it's just different. It shows that we're thinking differently about it.
Yeah.
What do you have there, Lee?
Yeah.
So it's a pretty big sheet of paper, and I went vertical with it.
Oh my gosh!
Nice. Yes. Yeah. Like you went almost like I would say you almost went kind of storybook home.
Yeah.
Like a little bit gingerbread house shape almost, which is really, really cool. I like that. Like that kind of whimsical side of it is really nice too.
Yeah, it's the curves. I think the curve.
I was trying to really emphasize the shape and
the door as well. The door has a curve to it. But even just
it's got that like Dr. Seuss kind of
like
deliberate kind of wonky whimsy that's like kind of great. It's great for the drawing. It really, really worked well. It's a smart stylistic choice.
Yeah, I wanted to go really disturbing with the feet, and then do you guys know somebody who was I don't talk about him a lot, but he was a really big influence on me in high school, is Alex Pardee. You know him?
I've heard the name.
Yes, I do.
Yeah.
I recognize
so like he does these kind of like, they're like kind of cute but kind of disturbing kind of stuff. So like I was kind of thinking like Alex Pardee when I was drawing this one.
Yeah.
Cool. Sweet. Nice interpretation.
Nice.
Thank you, guys. People like my feet. All right, cool.
They are. They're pretty wicked. Lots of detail.
All right. Wow, we're already on number 4. You know what we could do is, depending on the time, is once we do the 5, we could return to the drawings that we want to just keep kind of noodling on, if we feel like it. Or we can keep doing more, or we can call it. But I'm just kind of put it in your guys' court when we get there. So this is number 4, right?
Yes, it is.
All right.
What do we got?
We have got. All right, I don't know what this one means. I'm be honest. All right, this one's flaming torso energy by Eric I. Art.
I don't know what that means
This
either.
one definitely.
I feel like that one to me is totally a vibes prompt, like, and not a literal prompt. Like go off the vibes. Like, just go off the vibes. You know, I don't think like take it as literally as you want to. That's how I'm reading it. I'm like, oh, it's like a vibes thing. I'm just gonna vibe with flaming torso energy. You know, like that dude totally has flaming torso energy. You know what I mean? Like it's a vibes thing.
All right, I think I got a vision. It's coming in here. All right. Can I sharpen my pencil real quick and then I'll start the timer?
How do you mean?
What?
Flaming torso?
Yeah, flaming torso vibes. That's what I'm thinking. Like that dude totally got flaming torso vibes. His torso, it just comes off as though his torso is on fire.
All right, I'm gonna do Bristol on this one. Okay. Yeah, Noah's got it right. Is this like an energy drink or something? Yeah, that's good. Okay.
What?
No, he's just making a joke.
Oh, okay.
It's like
All right,
power thirst.
it started.
For the real heads who remember power thirst.
Oh my gosh. Okay. I don't know. I have no idea what to do. This... This is just it's such a weird prompt.
I just wanted to know what was in Eric I's, thoughts at the time. What was he thinking? If you're watching, let us know.
I hope he's just like it's just like a bot account that just comments that on every post on the internet.
Yeah.
Like if you post something like and it has enough views, like his bot like posts flaming torso energy as the comment. I hope that's what it is.
All right, we got 7 minutes left. A little past 7.
Flaming torso. God, man, what the hell?
You drawing the Human Torch here, man?
That's what it looks like. Literally drawing a flaming torso. So I feel like I'm drawing comic book art, man. It's weird, dude. I'm not used to this.
This is the kind of prompt that I like, though, because there's really no like we're probably gonna each get something.
Oh, mine is so different than yours. Here, I'll get a little peek. I'm working in a really light pencil. I'll have to
Oh
do
my
that
god,
later.
dude. You're literally gonna have flames coming out of the dude's pants. That's awesome.
All right. Now for the moment of truth for me for this idea. Is this gonna fucking work or not? I think so.
Got 4 minutes left. Mine is so ridiculous. Oh my god. Two and a half minutes. Lucas, have you ever tried the black wing pencils?
I have not. No. Recommended?
Yeah, man. They're like smooth as butter. They are almost all like quite a bit darker, but like they just feel so good.
Yeah, I kind of feel like lately, like this has been kind of a good exercise. But I feel like lately, I kind of want to add graphite drawing back to my, rotation.
Yeah.
Something I might be able to do, even if it's not something that people like commission me for. I still kind of want to like keep doing it. So I used to draw graphite a lot when I was in grad school, and I kind of miss it. It's like totally different feel for me than ink or paint. It makes me make a lot looser marks.
Mm-hmm. And time. All right. Let me check up on the chat a little bit. What's up, guys? All right, cool. Here, I'll pop a couple of these up. It's hard when I'm also drawing. I appreciate all you guys keeping the chat alive, though, while we're working here. So, Mark, tell us a little about this one. It's amazing how much you covered in that time.
Yeah, well, it's like there's so much going on already. It's crazy. I love it.
It's the fire department in the background with the flaming torso out, man, because he's on fire, bro. Yeah, dude, I don't know, man. This is like a weird, dude. This is the weirdest prompt, man. But whatever, it's fun to like if somebody said, "Hey, draw this," and you just draw it,
Dude, you know what it looks like to me? Like first of all, I love the composition on this. Like once again, it's got like a great kind of line of motion through it. Like
it's
sort of really, really great diagonal. Yeah, it's really, really, really working well. But what I immediately think of is like a really great, like also ran thrash metal album from the 80s. Like just like burning dude with the fire department in the background on the cover. That's what it just totally strikes me as.
Yeah, it does kind of have that vibe to it. Oh man. Yeah, that's where I landed. I don't know, man. It's such a weird prompt, but whatever.
That one's getting hung up on the fridge. All right, what we got here? Oh, this is sick.
I don't know. I just like I said, I wanted to do a vibes drawing, so I just went. What's flaming torso energy feel like to me? Something a little more. I guess it's not really abstract, but it's a little more abstract,
Well, I love the white, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wanted to try to rely on the white to get the feeling of fire. So I kind of just gave myself a literal skeleton to kind of try to hang some of that white color pencil on.
See, like that to me, that could be a demo cover easily, for any band. What I like is that you're utilizing both of these tools in all of your sketches. That white. I mean, first of all, you're drawing on a toned paper.
It's a toned paper, yeah.
And then so that you get that nice medium already in it, and then you're popping in your darks, and to do those whites just really it's crazy just that the extra contrast that you've created by using the white really helps, especially as something like this, the sense of glowing, the sense of heat.
Yeah.
It's so nicely done, man.
Yeah.
Good composition on that too,
Yeah.
by the way.
Thank you so much. Yeah, I wanted to do something that was a little more dynamic too, so I kind of started with like an S curve just to give myself a more dynamic shape to work with.
Yeah. Yeah, I like it. Yeah, I like that. You start from the bottom left, you end up on the top right, but you fill that negative space in the bottom right corner with that hand or what's left of the hand.
Yeah.
It's just good intuition on your
Yeah,
part.
and that was totally, it just like felt it out too. As I was kind of, okay, it feels like it needs something here. I'll let my hand wander down there and kind of put something in, and then I'll make it make sense later.
Yeah, right on.
Like that's kind of a good way to work, is like, all right, just like put a mark there and then make it make sense later. Thanks, Fred.
Sure.
Appreciate that.
Yeah. In heavy therapy, he said, Lucas is nuts. These are cool. Demo cover exactly. Give him 10 more minutes.
Yeah.
Right.
Completely done.
Hey, yeah, I mean, I might even do that. Might take a few more minutes with these.
Yeah. Here, let me go.
Okay.
I love the
nice.
arms.
Oh, I love this.
Yeah.
So it's basically like kind of like a fat flower power hippie. You got like a little peace sign, belt buckle, little capris with little flower power kind of prints on them.
Seems to have a little camel toe going on there too.
He does. I emphasize that a little too much. I'm seeing now. But yeah, just flaming torso energy, man.
Dude, I like this smoke, man. Smoke's kind of hard to.
Smoke is nice.
Dude, what I did was, I don't know if you heard me like just hitting this, but what I did was I intentionally smudged, so I just like bashed the eraser on it.
Oh, I see. Okay, that's really cool, man.
Yeah, that was pretty funny.
Yeah, what I like about these kinds of exercises too, though, is that you get to see more of our personality, because when we express ourselves in our art, a lot of the work that we do is pretty gnarly and gruesome, and to be able to show a little bit of sense of humor, and because that honestly, like, most of my sense of humor comes out in my dumb sketches,
yes,
and not in my real finished work. I feel like this is kind of a great way to sort of express that alter ego you might be hiding from the public. Nicely done.
Here.
All right. Another one.
Yeah. Let's see what I can do here. Do it on my Bilbo piece here, because I don't have any paper left.
Ooh, this is good. Noah, if you're still in the chat, we got yours. So Noah wanted to do, this is another funny one, comically large weapons.
Oh, man. Okay.
Here, I'll type it in.
Okay. Comically large weapon.
Thank you, Noah.
All right.
Comically large weapons. So I immediately think like anime characters when I get this prompt.
Okay.
All right. You guys ready?
Yep.
Yes.
All right. Start.
All right. Lucas, I don't hear any sound effects out of you, man.
Man, I'm totally like I'm just in the zone. Totally like Also, we're not really drawing anything too squelchy, so I'm not sitting here being like, we didn't really get a lot of like squelchy,
Yeah.
like slimy prompts. I kind of maybe I'm kind of a little bit disappointed in the chat, honestly, for kind of letting us down with all this really dry stuff they asked us to draw today. Everything just not real moist.
Oh man, well, I can't remember where that was. Is that one of Fred's interviews with you? I can't remember. He said something.
Yeah, I think it was. Yeah, Fred's. I think it was. Yeah, like one of the early FTFs.
Yeah,
Warm Terror Fridays.
Dude, I just thought that was the funniest thing, man, when you mentioned that, because I that's like definitely something like a kid would do.
Oh yeah, and that's basically who you're talking to right now. It's a gigantic kid. It's like I'm like 3 kids in an adult size shirt. Just pretending to be grown up enough to be seeing an R-rated movie.
That's awesome.
All right, here we go.
Let's get time update. 7 minutes.
All right. This is so ridiculous, man.
I like the pose Lucas has there.
Yeah, taking a little cue from Mark, trying to get a little more dynamic here. All right, how are we doing on time?
4 minutes.
Okay. All right, we're in the green then.
I went really weird with mine. I think I'm
Tried to
just
like,
still in Funnyville. You know, still drawing humorous shit.
I tried to tie it all together a little bit. You know, some of the themes tonight with mine.
I'm trying to remember the name of the what's the first Sodom? I can't remember the.
What was that?
I'm trying to remember the name of the first Sodom album. The full, was it an EP or the full length?
In the Sign of Evil.
Thank you.
But that might have been the second one, because there's the one with the blood.
Is it Obsessed with Cruelty? Is that
Oh, maybe that's what it is.
Yeah, I think that's it.
Cruelty.
In the Sign of Evil's the second like EP
Yeah.
thing.
I should know that. I'm actually a late bloomer when it comes to Sodom. My buddy Mike from Deceased turned me on to them. I obviously knew about them. I just never.
I was a big fan of like Persecution Mania and Agent Orange for many years, and it took me a while to get into any of their other stuff. I like Tapping the Vein. That's another good one. That one though, like Obsessed with Cruelty and the Sign of Evil, it's a little too primitive for me.
Yeah,
I can appreciate it for what it is, but it's not one that I will reach for. You know, I can appreciate it for what it is, but it's definitely not the one I reach for if I'm gonna reach for a Sodom album.
Yeah, I think those are the only two I have, and I first heard their stuff. It was a compilation. I think Hell's Headbangers put it out. It had like 4 bands on it. And they were all like Sodom covers. I saw them live in '98, but I just never owned anything until I don't know, like 15 years ago, maybe. I was definitely more like a creator.
Yeah, same. I'm more of a creator guy.
At least early on, I was probably about 13 years old, I'd say. I got turned on to creator. I always liked Pleasure to Kill quite a lot.
Pleasure to Kill is good. I'm a big fan of Extreme Aggression. That's actually, I think, my favorite one.
I'll have to go back and revisit that. I have not heard that in a long time.
First time I ever heard it, one of my old bands was on tour, and our singer, he had a tape he brought on tour, and it was just Extreme Aggression on one side and Ringworm's The Promise on the other side, and that was quite a mixtape. I was pleased. That was kind of a game changer for me. I had not heard either of those bands.
Dude, Ringworm's awesome.
Yeah.
41 seconds.
There is no God.
I don't know if I have any Ringworm stuff. I know the name, but I'm not sure. I might have a CD that
Their last album was really good.
Maybe I got something from like writing reviews a long time ago or something like that. Maybe by them, but I don't recall.
I'd recommend if you like, kind of metallic Clevo hardcore and all.
Yeah, it's kind of like Integrity.
Yeah, kind of like Integrity.
Yeah, my old band did an Integrity cover on our demo tape back in like '96, I think.
Nice. And
I wasn't too familiar with them. It was a singer guitarist who's a fan of this stuff.
All right, that's time.
Oh, wow. I'm right up to the edge of the clock on that one. Didn't even get a chance to sign it.
So I didn't even look up. Now I realize why you're saying Sodom.
Oh yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Because I'm drawing this Executioner guy. I'm like, kind of reminds me of the album cover, and I couldn't think of the name of the album for whatever reason. I think it's Obsessed with Cruelty.
All right. Well, you're up, Mark. You want to?
Oh yeah, I started off simple with this little dude trying to hold up a shield.
Nice.
I was thinking it'd be cool to have like a dragon or something up here. I just was like, nah, I should probably try something different. So I just drew this Executioner dude. So it's super. I was just trying to think of a weapon. I'm like an axe. So I'm like, who's gonna hold the axe?
Mark, you have the Wodos logo upside down.
Nice. Anyway, that's where I landed on this one.
Nice.
All right.
I like it.
Let's see what you got.
Dude, that's
Dude,
cool.
So I
Oh,
tried to
cool.
tie it together. I started to draw like a big club, and I was like, what if it was just a big Baba Yaga chicken leg?
Yes.
He's cooked a big chicken leg, and now it's like a little like goblin, little kind of fey goblin fairy guy, and he's gonna kick your ass with a big cooked chicken leg, big drumstick,
That's awesome. Dude, I love the white hits on there.
Oh man.
And the
Yeah,
high
dude.
contrast between the body. Like you didn't even have to throw in a ton of like all the detail of the bodies, heavy shades,
That's my
white-
goal, Noah. I want everyone to be hungry.
Yeah.
I want everyone to have a healthy appetite.
Nice. Nicely done, man.
Sorry to any of the vegans in the chat though. Maybe it's a tofurkey. It's a tofurkey leg.
All right.
Oh, nice. Nice.
I incorporated a cat in there too.
That's
Big
so
machete
awesome.
cat.
Dude, I like the highlights on the on the machete
Yeah.
too. It's just nicely done.
Thanks,
That's
man.
nice.
The shades and
Nice,
highlights on it.
Kind of metallic sheen you got on there.
Yeah, and it's a good contrast to the furry creature.
I like it.
You know,
Looks
the cat.
kind of evil, It's like,
He's
what
got
do
a
you
little
want?
sinister grin, but he's got some fur on him, which softens him up a little bit. But
Yeah.
nicely done. See, that's
Thanks.
the thing, man. We can be goofy with this stuff. I love it.
Oh. All right. Well, technically that was 5. How are you guys
Okay.
feeling?
I'm good. I mean, I don't know. What do you want to do? Do you want to squeeze one more in, or is there something else you want to? I'm game if you guys want to do one more, but I don't want to go too late because I gotta, obviously, kids and all that stuff.
Yeah,
so
I
tomorrow.
do have to get up early in the morning to make it to Philly.
All right, how about this? Let's do one more.
All right, I gotta find a piece of paper. Hang on.
All right.
Murder cat.
I have a cutting mat. That's not useful.
Oh my God, my sister just sent me a text. She's been drawing along too.
Oh wow, that's cool, man.
Yeah, that's
Who's
funny.
been drawing along?
My sister. She just texted me.
Nice.
Oh, that's great. All right. We all ready, or are you still looking
Hang
for
on,
paper?
yeah, because I didn't end up having enough paper. I guess I'll just flip this over, see if I can do one on the back.
Get a post-it note.
Just do it. It's gonna be like way more textured. This side of the paper is like really textured.
I'm gonna give it a good shake. What's weird is because like there's always 10-minute spurts. I feel like we've only been on for 30 minutes, but then it's almost 2 hours. Like the
yeah.
time,
Yeah, it's fine.
yeah, it's really flying. All right. What do we got here? All right.
I want to draw a hot dog.
Okay.
So please, Lee, pull a hot dog out of the hat.
All right, here. I got a twist. If you guys are game, I'll pull out 3, and then we choose out of the 3 because this is a bonus one.
Okay.
All right. So the first pick is Eel,
Pull a hot dog.
and that is by Johnny Weatherfish. That is Eel. And you know what? Actually, this would be better. All right. So let's have the chat vote. Is that cool?
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right.
let's chat about
So option 1 is Eel. I'll put them on the screen. You guys then vote. Next option is an axe-wielding executioner.
I just
it.
Cavernous
Start
Heart.
to do that.
I just drew one.
You want to just resubmit?
Yeah, re-roll that one.
All right, fine. That one. Sorry, Cavernous Art. Really nice guy. All right, the next one is Carnivorous Plant. That is by Lock Jess Adams. That is my wife.
Oh, this sounds like something Lucas would draw, even
I was
unprompted.
kind of hoping it was Carnivorous Horse.
That'd be wicked.
All right, I'm throwing. All right, not that one. Okay, and then we have Demonic Turtle. That is by Dementula 3D. That is Chris. He's another artist in the scene. So I'm going to put them all in there, and you guys vote, okay? So eel is option 1. Option 2 is Carnivorous Plant. And 3 is Demonic Turtle. All right, we got 1 vote for Carnivorous Plant. You guys got about 30 seconds or so. All right, another plant. Demon Turtle. All right, we got 3 for plant, 1 for turtle. I'm rooting for turtle.
Yeah, turtle would be
I'm
fun.
kind of rooting for the turtle too, but
All right, 4 plant.
do we get a vote?
Yeah, everyone wants Carnivorous Plant. I already opened this up. You gotta squeeze a hot dog in there though, Lucas. Yes.
Oh yeah, I have. That's not too hard actually. That's actually should be really easy.
All right, I
can
think we're
squeeze
gonna
a
do
hot dog
Carnivorous
into
Plant.
anything.
All right.
All right.
Plant.
And go.
Sometimes, just a little trick for viewers. They might already know this. Sometimes turning your work upside down. Maybe you guys might do this as well. Turning your work upside down kind of helps you see it a little bit better, especially if you're trying to get a little bit of symmetry or trying to at least get a slightly tighter look. Because I see that, I'm having that problem right now. Just trying to draw a vase or a planter for my plant. Sometimes just turning it upside down will do the trick to tighten it up.
I'll do that with faces a lot, and then hands.
Yes.
Because I need to try to get the proportions right. Or like, I mean, definitely if you're using it with reference, like if you're using any kind of reference, turning it upside down, that's when I do it a lot.
Sure.
Yeah, it's not actually. It's I have to kind of start doing that a little bit more because that's not one that comes real like naturally to me. I would never think to turn my stuff upside down when I'm drawing, except for like if I'm like trying to work on if I'm like working with my brush pen or something. I'm trying not to put my hand in a spot that's still wet. I'll turn it upside down, but that usually by that point I'm like already inking it, so I'm not really thinking about proportions anymore. I have to kind of do that a little bit more. Usually when I'm trying to get symmetry, the one thing I'll do is like I always just draw through the form, So if it's like I'm trying to do a bottle, then I'll just break it into, okay, well, a bottle is like a rectangle and like an ellipse and then like a rectangle on top. So I'll just try to put those shapes together so that I can get those individual shapes symmetrical. And then the bottle will usually come out a little bit better, Yeah. Rather than try to do like I call the cartographer method, where you try to trace the coastline of whatever you're drawing, and you end up with something that looks really, really wonky.
Yeah. All right. I got my loose sketch in place.
For those who wanted to see a demonic turtle, you will not be disappointed.
Oh no, are you doing one? Are you sneaking one in?
No,
there?
I'm not. I'm squeezing in multiple prompts here.
Nice.
Oh wow, crowd pleaser. You're a real showman, man.
If I can pull it off. I do feel like I'm getting better with each one, though. I think like my first one, now looking back, is complete shit.
I mean, that's
Well,
kind
we're
of the thing. Is like this is
Yeah.
like a good exercise. It's
Yeah.
not
Yeah,
just
good
like
to know.
this was like fun. Hell yeah, it's fun, but it's like a good exercise to do. Like I kind of feel like even just in this, I'm like, oh, I'm kind of learning a lot today. Like, holy shit, this is a good, you know.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, this is all stuff that normally would not be of interest to me to draw. You know.
I'm gonna give a time update. 6 minutes left.
Oh, okay. After this, I'm gonna do what Bilbo Baggins does and just chill out,
Yeah.
watch some Netflix for real.
I was gonna say, I asked earlier what you guys watched recently. I forgot to share my own.
Yeah,
Last
what do you
night I watched The Beastmaster.
Peacemaster.
The 80s movie?
Yeah,
Oh,
Mark Singer and a really bizarre performance from Rip Torn. I have to say though, like it's a Don Coscarelli movie, so if you're like a Phantasm fan like I am, it's still kind of gold because I love Coscarelli. I don't think he can do any wrong, in my opinion. Loved Bubba Hotep, loved John Dies at the End, and of course loved Phantasm. So
John Dies at the End's cool.
yeah,
I was kind of mixed on Phantasm, honestly. I didn't hate it, but I like the soundtrack a lot. I like that.
it's one of those movies that I think I think you either dig it or you don't. I know a lot of people said it seems it's kind of stupid, and I'm like, yeah, it is. It's an like extremely low budget movie, you know, from the 70s. And I have to say, like, I also love Phantasm 2 a bit more, just because it's a lot wilder. But I don't know. I just think that movie is still so inventive, as you know, as flawed as it might be, that I just love it for that reason. It's such an inventive horror movie. It wasn't like anything that had come out before it, you know.
That is true. It is inventive. I'll give it that. I definitely didn't hate it. I just wasn't.
I can understand. I can understand being cool on it, you know.
Yeah.
I get that.
I think one of my favorite horror movies, man. I mean, it gets praised, but like not that much compared to like some other ones. I really love Rosemary's Baby. I love that movie. I love Wicker Man too, the original. Like I love that kind of like late 60s, early 70s. I don't know, kind of pastoral kind of vibe.
Kind of pastoral, kind of cult.
Yeah. Oh, cult movies.
Cultist horror. Yeah.
Definitely.
Was it like Lair of the White Worm? Am I on the right page? I don't follow horror movies closely, so I'm not.
I think Lair of the White Worm. I've never seen the movie, but I think it's a Bram Stoker's novel. I'm pretty sure.
Oh, really?
Yeah, the original. It's an adaptation from a Bram Stoker novel. I've never read that novel either, but yeah, it's like definitely like kind of Victorian England, I want to say.
Oh, okay.
I had to hazard a guess.
I might be thinking of something else. I could have sworn I saw some kind of crazy psychedelic horror flick once that had something with a white worm in it. Maybe I'm wrong. I can't remember.
You might be right. I mean, it might be like a really loose adaptation or something.
Yeah. I like the band Phantasm, from the 90s, early 90s. You guys ever heard of them? Underground band?
Yeah.
like that.
I've
I like
heard
that
the name, but I don't know their material.
Used to write to those dudes. Remember, one of the guys used to send me torn pages from porn magazines whenever he'd write to me.
Class act.
Yeah, I know. Oh man, that was the old days, man. Yeah, they put out a couple of really good demo tapes. I figured they're probably named the band after the movie. I don't know that I've ever seen that film, Phantasm. I've seen ads.
It's got a cool soundtrack, or like the opening, or like the main tune. I mean, they repeat it a lot, but it's pretty cool.
Yeah, that main theme was Entombed used it in the first song on Left Hand Path.
Left Hand Path. Yeah,
That's totally, if that's what that's from. It's a Phantasm reference. It's a pretty badass theme, I have to say. It is a pretty badass theme.
All right, I need a
Phantasm 2, they got like a 4-barreled shotgun. That's fucking awesome. That's the kind of shit I live for. People making 4-barreled shotguns. That's the coolest thing. Chainsaw duels and 4-barreled shotguns. Phantasm 2 did it before Mandy.
Mandy was cool. I've only seen it once though.
I've only seen it the one time too. I have to kind of go back and watch it again. I liked it the first time, but I don't know if I have a deeper read on it.
Lucas,
I talked to the director.
Oh, go
I
ahead.
had to talk to the director of that film, Mandy.
Oh, cool.
I was doing a capital question for that. You know, Christoph Speisdel did the Mandy logo.
Oh yeah.
Oh, nice.
For those who don't know, Christoph Speisdel, he did the Emperor logo, and as well as thousands of other logos.
Didn't Fred have him on Form Terror Fridays?
Yeah, I was gonna say Fred just chatted with him a couple weeks ago. I'm good. How much time we have, Lee? We're good?
I don't know how I feel about this one.
We're
there we go.
We're done. All right.
Can I get 30 seconds just to finish this line?
No.
All right, fine.
I'm kidding. Go ahead. Take your 30 seconds. I'm still actually filling in a spot anyway.
Yeah.
So, I was being a total asshole.
Dude, yours looks like
a total dick from Michigan.
You're being a rule follower. All right. Let's see here.
Lucas, yours looks like it's straight out of a book, man. It's nicely done.
I don't know about this one. It's not my favorite, but it is what it is.
All right, I'm done.
I find it interesting that you sign your sketches.
Honestly, I'm gonna pull back the curtain a little bit. This is the first time I just made that signature up literally today, right now, and thought it would be funny to sign them all. Like, that's not something I do. I just literally was like off the cuff. Let's fucking sign it. Let's make up a signature I've never used before. Here we go.
That's so funny. Okay.
Yeah. So there's that's not a thing. I've never done that before.
All right. Let's see what you got, Mark.
Oh, it's stupid, man. It's dumb.
You got the turtle in there too.
Yeah,
oh, nice. Oh, I like that. Oh, yeah. You guys did the turtle. I didn't even do the turtle.
I just have these little faces coming out of the plant. It's just really silly, man. Nothing special.
I like it, though. I like those faces.
Oh, I should have done a hot dog.
I feel like, Mark, if you did like your regular time and your regular process with this prompt, you could do something really sick. Like if you did that and really developed it, it would be pretty unique.
A little hot dog.
Nice. All right, let's see what you got here. Dude, this looks sick, Lucas. What are you talking about?
It's not my favorite, but yeah, I did a carnivorous plant eating a hot dog.
Oh, I see the hot dog now, yeah.
Yeah,
That's
I
so
could do the
cool.
shadows
He's
on
just he's having a little nosh. He's saying yum, you know. He's
it.
stoked.
Oh man, that's so great.
I don't know, dude. I think that needs to go on the wall back here, dude.
That's
Charles,
so
I cut it
cool.
out for you. I got to cut through old poor Bilbo on the other side. I only had 4 sheets of this toned paper. I thought I had way more of it, but whoops.
I went like kind of like a Frazetta route.
Dude,
Oh,
what the hell,
nice.
man?
Woo, I like that.
Yeah. With like the turtle fighting off the carnivorous plant.
Okay.
That is so cool, man.
I did not initially read it as fighting the plant.
He's humping
I thought
it.
it was something a little more, David Attenborough.
Dry humping it.
A little more mating rituals of the demonic turtle species.
That's so well done.
I can go farther that direction.
Yeah,
I love the
you
S,
should-
the S curve on that, man. The composition.
Yeah. Show us
Yeah.
again. Bring it back.
All right. Yeah, this is probably my best one.
back.
That is
There we
cool,
go.
man.
Yeah,
Yeah, I like that. There's some nice dynamism there.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, there's like a nice. I like how you kind of echo it too in the little plant
Yep.
forms that are in the background in the lower right too. Like it's nice
Yeah,
that there's
and-
like a couple of S form, like the little tongue coming out of it too. You get
Yep.
these
Yep.
echoes of that shape. Really,
Yeah.
really nice, smart, kind of smart design choice.
Thank you.
I love that both of our turtles have horns. That's the only thing we did to like really
That's how they become
I'll
demonic.
put some horns on it. That's cool. But I was gonna say that Lucas just took the words right out of my mouth. I mean, that's spot on composition wise. I mean, it's just the echoing of the S letter form shape. Nicely done.
Yeah, appreciate it. Actually, be kind of funny. All right, so we're wrapping up. But grab your drawings and each tell me which one is your favorite and your least favorite.
Sorry for making anybody sick.
Ugh.
You're asking for our batch, what we prefer?
Yeah.
Our
So
preference?
which drawing that you did is your favorite, and which one is your least favorite? What do you think, Mark?
For me personally, I think I'm happy with the way that turned out. I mean, it's
Yeah.
goofy, but there's a little bit going on there. And probably my least favorite would be the this one. It's just dumb. I don't know. What about you guys?
For me, I think this is probably the best one I did.
Yeah, that's solid.
And then
Ridiculous.
the worst one I did was the first one because I just went way too much with it. My opinion.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, let's see here. I mean, I think I like my goblin. I think the most. I think that's my
Yeah.
favorite one.
That's sick.
I'm really, really stoked on how that came out. It's just, it's one of those ones, something that just flies off the pencil or flies off the pen, and it just, it's a pleasure to draw all the way through. And I think that's my favorite. Honestly, I think my least favorite is my Bilbo. Felt like I was having kind of, first drawing jitters or like just trying to still feel my way through it.
Yeah.
And I don't think I started it super well. I think if I'd have started it a little bit better, like if that Bilbo had come up like number 4, I probably would have done a better job with it. But I think because it was number 1, I just still kind of finding my way a little bit. So.
Yeah.
I'm kind of curious. Did you guys have any?
It's a good question from James too. I didn't want to cut you off, Mark.
Oh no, it's cool. Personally, no, I wouldn't develop any of them myself. No. What about you guys?
I might work into that goblin, and I might work more into this one. I might spend a little more time on this.
Yeah, that one's definitely a highlight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To answer James's question, yes.
I'm actually on my pending list. There actually is a Baba Yaga house type of composition that I was already working on. Here, I can show you like a really loose sketch of it. But I'm trying to do like kind of like a Lovecraftian Baba Yaga thing. And this is one that I'll probably touch like a year from now because it's not priority. But I just sketched it and I thought it was cool. A long time ago. I don't even know where there it is. It's really messy.
Whoa, dude, that's
Whoa.
cool.
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah, that's really
But
cool.
yeah, I like the concept of a Baba Yaga house. I am probably gonna develop that.
That's
Cool.
nice. Yeah, I was just gonna ask, did you guys have any kind of like I mean, I did for a second, just being sort of caught. Like I don't really draw in front of people too often. Every once in a while. I mean, you know, my family might see me, but I don't like company over watching me draw or anything like that. And you guys are skilled artists. Did you have any kind of like oh man, I better get up on my game because I got to draw in front of these other really good artists? Did you? Because I kind of got it for a second. Did you guys get that a little
Yeah,
bit?
yeah, no, definitely. I'm like, I gotta definitely better perform. You know, like,
Yeah,
I don't wanna be the weak link. I don't want to look like,
yeah, yeah. It's
what,
weird.
what's this Joker doing with, what's this clown doing with these two great artists? You know.
That's
So yeah, no, I definitely felt that way, Mark. I
okay.
definitely felt that way.
I just wasn't sure if it was just me or because I think that's part of art too, is like to know to be comfortable in your own skin and to trust whatever comes out of you.
Yeah.
And to know that it's okay that it's not always going to be great because we just critiqued ours and said like what are you happy with, what are you not,
Yeah.
you know. And some I felt like it's just like when you anything you work on you're going to have a home run sometimes, you know. Another
Right.
time you're going to have to go back and work it just a little bit. I was just
Well,
curious.
honestly, I mean, I feel like that every time I have to draw in front of my students. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
oh, is this demo going to be? Are they going to learn something from this demo, or are they going to watch and wonder why they took my class? You know what I mean?
Right,
Like
right.
every time.
Yeah, and there's also probably a little bit more pressure too because you're the instructor. They expect you to be good at what you do,
Yeah.
and you have to really put on that show to kind of demonstrate for them that you have the clout that you deserve to be professor. And it's just
Yeah.
that's got it. I don't know if I'd want to do that. I don't know.
I mean, like honestly, I have that like I don't know. I don't like to use this term, but I have that like imposter syndrome. I think every time I'm about to draw in front of students. But honestly, usually the reaction is the exact opposite. I had a student once go, "What the fuck? You make that look really easy. It's totally
Yeah,
not." And I'm like, "Oh yeah, I mean, when you've been doing it for a long time,
Yeah.
yeah.
I don't know what to say to that because that was not the reaction I was expecting from that student at that particular moment. So it caught me off guard that I drew too well, I guess, in front of them.
I think there's sort of a magic to watching somebody draw. You know, especially if you can't do it.
Oh yeah,
It's it seems like an impossible feat from an outsider's perspective, but for you,
yeah,
because you do it frequently, you get comfortable with it, and then you know when you get to see what I like is still being wowed by other artists and
yeah,
looking at their work, and even you guys like even just you two as an example, just being able to look and not just at the finished piece, but trying to dissect well what's the process, what's happening here, what can I learn from it? Even just looking at it without even talking to you guys, but here doing the sketches, it's cool because they can see a little bit of the thought process and how you guys each approach it. Like even Lucas with your paper choice, it really gives your sketches a more finished look. They don't look as sketch like. They don't look as unpolished or unfinished. They actually look more finished because
yeah.
one, the paper you're using, and two, the two tone, the darks and the lights. Great. That's a great choice. Like that's something I
Yeah.
could easily see being published in a sketchbook, like a legitimate like. Here's a Lucas Korte book. Let's show some sketches. Those are all.
Well, I'm waiting for that book, man. I'll buy
Thank
that
you.
book in
Yeah,
a
no, thank
heartbeat.
you guys. Well, there maybe in the near enough future there'll be a failed Kickstarter for my book. We'll see. I've been wanting to do that for a while, so maybe it'll happen. But no, thank you, Mark. Honestly, like to that point though, one of the things I wanted to say is like one of the things I really enjoy about watching other artists work is partly that like it's a sense of familiarity because you as an artist kind of know what they're doing, but it's also a simultaneous sense of unfamiliarity because they might approach something in a completely different way. And it's that, like, to me, it's that really great push and pull where you're going to learn something basically if you're watching them. That is kind of one of my favorite reasons to watch other artists work, because they're just not going to do things the way you do it, but they're also just going to be like a common language too, where you also kind of get what they're doing. And you're just like, oh, you do it that way.
Yeah.
Whoa, you know.
I had the same feelings. Is a great way to put it. That sort of the push and pull, because there's sort of that you're stepping into the unknown in some regard, but another you always know what to fall back on, because whatever our visual language is, we've learned by drawing the things that we draw. Like a house, I can give you an idea of what a house looks like. It's kind of like when you look at a kid and how they interpret a house: square with door and square windows, triangle roof. You know, so those are sort of ingrained in us, but we may have drawn architecture on a few occasions in our illustration careers, and you have a general sense of it, even though it might not be something that necessarily in your visual language and your iconography that you lean on, but you know enough to kind of give the impression of what it is. Right. And it's nice to kind of have that, like you said, that sort of push and pull between, here are the things I know that I'm comfortable with, I know I can get away with easily and make it look all right. And here's some stuff that I don't know what the hell I'm doing. You know, it's almost like that blind contour that you mentioned, you know, when you're not looking at it. You know, it's just, it is interesting. It's a strange feeling inside when it's a moment of exploration. It's like you're on this journey. It's a 10-minute journey. Let's see where it takes us. And that's every drawing really is a journey. When you think about it, the willingness to complete it is a willingness to reach the end of that journey. You want to see where is this going to end up, and it motivates you to get through it.
It's also like, you know, especially with these 10-minute drawings, like a willingness to face making a bad drawing.
Yeah,
you know what I mean, I mean, it's one of those things, like I tell my students, but it's a piece of advice I also have to work to follow, which is, it's okay to make a bad drawing, because if that's like the worst thing that happens in your day compared to like everything else in life, that's not really that bad. Just make a bad drawing. Well, just make another one. Make another one. Try to make the next one better. You know.
Yep.
And not to be too, not to be too hard on yourself, and not to be too precious with everything that you make. Like, you know, be willing to make a bad drawing. It's like, it happens. It's whatever.
I think you've learned to. The more you draw, too, I feel like you learn to be able to not hold it so closely to your heart, so to speak. I feel like there's always, like, I'm not, like, I don't have any problem parting with a drawing, really. It's just, for me, it's like, you know, there's going to be another one. So the other 1,000 I've worked on aren't that as important to me as maybe they should be. I know that there will be more. There's another day to do another drawing, and so you learn. It's another part of, like, and I guess I'm trying to show from another, like, artist vantage point. Like, that's, I don't know how you guys perceive your work, but I've kind of learned to perceive mine that way. How do you guys feel about it? Are you very close and protective and overprotective of your own work, or do you tend to divorce yourself from it, in the sense that, you know, there's another journey I got to take right after this one? And that's what
I think you get to a point where you make a lot of drawings, so your sense of attachment to any one becomes pretty minimal. You know, it's not that you're not concerned with making something that's quality. It's that you're not like, it's not this drawing isn't going to be the last drawing you ever do. So it's also not the first drawing you ever do. It's very much in the middle, you know what I mean? And so it's like, it kind of, honestly, like, my feeling about it is it kind of becomes a blur a little bit, you know? You just do drawing, and you just do drawing, you just do a drawing, you do a painting, you do a painting, you do a drawing, blah, blah. And then you look at the year and you're like, holy shit. Like, holy shit, I did all this? Damn. I was so in the thick of it, I didn't really think about it.
It's true, man.
And now I have this pile of stuff that I should try to sell, probably, you know?
Yeah.
Pile of originals I should probably try to get rid of. I've, licensed all this stuff, but I should probably try to sell some of these originals now. My flash file is getting full. But yeah, so it's the same. I think I feel the same way. It's like, I don't I don't think I'm like super precious with them. I mean, there's like the sense that as an artist, I was, trained to like take care of my work. Like that's one thing I really do try to do is if I don't want my work to be perceived as garbage, then I shouldn't like treat it as garbage. And so I try to store it nicely. And my partner, she's worked in museums and galleries, and she's done art handling and art shipping and stuff, so she knows how to like kind of archivally store art. So we do that with my artwork. Every couple months we'll pull the newest pile, and we'll like layer it with glycine so it doesn't get it doesn't get smudged and stuff doesn't stick together if it gets humid. But then I just put it away, and it's just stored now. It's just sitting there, and it's like, I probably should sell this shit. I don't need all of this. Eventually we get to a point where our house is 90% art I've made, and we need to, we're just living around my art. And that's also like a perennial problem as an artist. You need to get it out the fucking door sometimes. So I don't feel like that kind of attachment. I'd rather it be out in the world, honestly. I think we probably feel that way. I'd rather it be out in the wild, and like roaming around, doing its thing, getting seen by lots of people, getting interpreted in different ways, having a life of its own outside of my flat file,
Yeah, I agree. I think that's part of the purpose of it, whether in print or to own original or whatever, it's just it does serve a purpose to be out in the wild. I mean, we're artists, we're visual people. We want our stuff to be seen. That's why we take some of the gigs that we take,
Yeah. We don't want it a secret. We don't want our art to be kept a secret.
What's the point of it? Same with like with music. You got these cult bands that only want 5 people to hear their, like what?
Right.
I mean, it's great. You make music for yourself for sure, but why not share it? What's the harm?
Yeah.
It is interesting that you take such good care of your work. I tend to mine just sit in boxes and stacks. I don't really. The Magic the Gathering stuff I worked on, I'll put like in a bag to separate it from the other stuff, just so that if I bite the dust, at least it's all in like one place, not just randomly in the middle of a pile. I need to be better about that. I just don't really make time for it. It's good that you put the brakes on and say, hey, what should I do with all this stuff I've worked on for the last 4 months or whatever, Mine just piles up and then goes in a box and it just sits there. That's all I do.
I mean, when you work at volume, it's like it's always a question,
Yeah.
Like even saying like I try to take care of it. There's still like behind me. There's like I want to say there's 3 or 4 stacks of drawings and paintings just sitting in my studio. I'm like, I look at them every day. I walk in here and go, yeah, someday. Like maybe next month I'll get to these and go through them. But it's not a priority just yet.
Yeah.
I think you guys are just more prolific than me at this point. So the more prolific you are, the less precious you are, So like,
you'll get there.
I agree with
we'll
the
get
principle.
there.
Yeah, because like I'm not. I'm totally fine with a drawing being a failure, but not being like discouraged by it. Like I'm there in my journey, but I am fairly particular with my originals at this point, just because I don't have that many, and I want to have like a pretty good portfolio first. So I'll get there, but I don't like let go of them very easily, just at this point.
Yeah,
no, it's understandable.
Because where I'm at,
Yeah, I can totally understand that too. Yeah, that's just something over time you just kind of,
I used to use that as my like,
how many hours you spent on it,
Right.
Like some of those.
I used to.
Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead.
I was just saying, like for you, Lucas, like some of your really big paintings, like, I mean, you would sell them for a higher price, but like those are probably more precious than the things that are just like,
Yeah, there are some that I would love to be rid of.
Yeah.
But selling big, huge paintings is, it's one of those things they don't tell you when you're in grad school. They tell you, go big, make big, big work. And then you find out, oh no, you have to store it and you have to take it with you every time you move, because trying to sell like a 6-foot painting, it's not fucking happening. No one wants a 6-foot painting in their house.
Yeah.
So that's like a whole nother thing. But I was gonna say though, like to your point, Lee, like one of my used to be my criteria for pricing my original, my like especially my like studio work, my criteria for pricing it was high enough that if someone bought it, I wouldn't be sad, but if they don't buy it, I also won't be sad. You know what I mean? Like because if I wanted to keep it around, you know what I mean? Like, well, what would it take to make me want to let go of it? You know, kind of a lot of money.
Yeah. No, I get you.
Consequently, I mean, I only really sold small stuff when I was more of a studio artist. But whatever, it's fine. It was nice to sell anything, honestly, at that point.
Yeah.
Artists, like working studio artists, sell so rarely. So, this is to me a much better gig because every piece essentially gets sold one way or another, whether it's through licensing or selling originals. So that is a much better feeling than the gallery system where like you're lucky if you sell one thing a year, you know.
It's crazy. Can imagine.
People just don't buy a lot. You know,
I don't
like I said, small stuff. It made me realize like make small stuff because people will buy small stuff. They can hang small stuff. It's easier to ship small stuff. It's not that you shouldn't
when you
like
go to
make
the
big
little art
things.
fairs,
Like
you know,
making big things is like a great learning experience, and it's a kind of a cool thing to see your work huge. But it does come with like big practical costs.
I've got a question from Drawn Sword Graphics. What do you fellas think about putting out art zines?
I want to do one. Yeah, I want to do an art zine.
Yeah,
I definitely. I've been thinking about doing an art zine for like months now, and I have kind of gone back and forth about should I go it alone or should it be like a multi-person project. I think it would probably be easier if it was a multi-person project, and it would probably be more
helps with promotion too. You have more people
promotion wise, splitting the initial cost. But you know, like it's thinking about what would it be? Because like you have something on the level of Cursed, right? That that first volume just dropped, right? And it's like the quality on that is like impeccable. It's such a nice piece of published like print, you know, art media.
Totally.
I don't know that would be something. I'd probably be thinking less ambitious, you know, for an art scene. Probably be like, you know, just start like a 25-page single staple, you know, thing with just some pieces in there. And if someone wanted to write something, they could write something. But yeah, I'd like to do something like that. I've wanted to do something like that for a while. I don't know how you guys feel.
Well, my answer,
we're all busy. We're all busy.
Yeah, my answer would be my version of the art zine is this channel. That's my
no, that makes sense. That totally makes sense.
So it's like this is my thing that I say like that's it is a larger thing than me. I want to be clear about that with everybody. But like all the time I put into it, I can't do that again with something else.
Right, right. You'd be duplicating work basically.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I personally like the idea of an art zine. I picked up the new Cursed. I always buy Nauseous Ruin when I can. And you know, I published books. And one thing I would like to do personally is do a book about underground art. You know, it's sort of its genesis and where it is now. It's just a matter of carving out time to facilitate that. It'd be a huge task, but I feel it's something that's been on the back of my mind for several years. I just I haven't paused to do it because I had to do something similar with the Logos from Hell book, and it took time because I had like 30 artists I had to collaborate with to pull that together.
Yeah.
You know, and it's like, what was it, like 600 pages of visuals, you know, and text and interviews, and I do like the idea of doing a book. The fanzine idea I like a lot too because it's efficient. You know, you could either do it as a self-promotional piece where you're showcasing your own work, or you could just do like what you were suggesting, Lucas, where you pull other artists together and do like a compendium of, or I should say, compilation of different artists. I like Sawblade. I think he has Daniel. He has a little fanzine that's thematic called Heads, where it's just
I mean, it's such a smart thing. I love that idea. It's like such an awesome, like compact, kind of cool concept for a zine, you know?
Yeah, it's great, and it's super efficient. It's his work. It's good promotion for his stuff, and it's something people can enjoy. It doesn't have to be elaborate. It's just like a photocopy rag, you know.
Yeah.
I've got another art book somewhere here too with I apologize. I'm trying to think of his name. I can't remember his true name. He goes by uh oh man, what is the name? He's a logo illustrator from Italy, I believe. And his name is leaving me right now, but I have like a little booklet of his stuff, which is cool. You know, it's just like a little one-off promotional piece and um, really elaborate stuff. You know, I like the idea of doing fanzines. I'm all about it because, like, when you think of underground metal scene, that's all. I mean, it's all it was. It's photocopy fanzine. So I'll eat any of that up. You know, I'm always loving it when an artist chooses to do that route or um, I don't know, it's like some Mexican zine I picked up a couple years ago that had like 30 artists in it or something. All underground photocopied, saddle stitch is awesome, and had a lot of really good underground artists in it. So I love that stuff personally. But if you can do a book, you know, that's cool too.
Yeah.
You just got to find a publisher to finance it. You know. But yeah.
Sweet. Anybody else got anything they want to talk about, chat, or Lucas or Mark?
No, I mean I appreciate this exercise. This is so super weird, out of my comfort zone in a good way. I feel like, oh yeah, Chard. I think I have Chard. I think I have a copy of that. It sounds familiar. And I also have botched Oriectomy. I have that as well. I think I picked up the 2 issues they have of that. Chard sounds familiar though. I'm not sure. There's some kind of really fancy art music zine. I want to say it's from Asia somewhere, Southeast Asia maybe. And it was cool how like metallic gold printing on it, like a metallic hit with like it was like a 3-color run all the way through. It was really cool.
Yeah,
Really
you gotta love high production values. Are really, really kind of key.
Yeah.
Here we got one more question. I just highlighted this so you guys can read it. But then here's a question from the Colonel. This is a very reasonable question. So he's just wondering, how do you guys typically go about the calculation of the price for a piece? Is it based on hours, scope, just kind of like the framework?
I'll let Mark field this first.
Thanks.
You're the real veteran. So.
Somebody told me to never tell anybody how much you charge for your art.
Well, that's what I'm saying. The framework.
I kind of went. That's kind of what I just don't tell. I mean, like publicly what I charge. Really, I mean, I'm affordable. Most people think I'm not. I am, but it's just a matter for me. It's about what I want to work on, like what I want to take that looks like fun or sounds like fun, you know, or maybe, you know, it's just, there's a lot of different reasons why I take what I take, but generally speaking, that's beside the point. Art wise, I charge a flat rate. Doesn't matter what the hell it is. I don't care if it's a demo cover, a t-shirt illustration, tour poster illustration. You know, it could be anything, 7-inch cover, 12-inch cover. I charge the same rate. It just, to me, it's the easiest. And other artists might do that differently. They might charge based on the size, you know, because some drawings will take me longer to do. I'm comfortable. I might spend way more time on than a shirt illustration, but I'll get paid the same, regardless. You know, I mean, for me, it's just a matter of ease. I just don't take the time to do it differently based on the scope of the work. If it's something too complicated, I just won't draw it. Like if it's something that I don't feel comfortable drawing or I know will take me freaking forever to draw, I won't take the commission, you know, because there's something else that I could do that might be easier for the same amount of money, you know. When I say easier, and I can complete it in a more timely fashion. And when I have that time, the time is the most valuable part of what I do. So if I have time to do like 3 drawings in the amount of time that I have to do one that I could spend a lot of time on, I'll take the 3. You know, it's more production. more stuff out there on the market, more eyes on my art. So I try to think about it strategically in that way. But I do the flat rate. Some artists choose not to. Some do it based on scope. Some do it based on what's being requested. Because there's some stuff that's super complex that will take you time. You got to, study references and try to figure out how you want to map it out. It takes time, pre-planning and stuff. And, you gotta factor that in. I think a lot of it just comes down to how do you value your time?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean that would be my answer to that question. I was like taught to you kind of like come up with an hourly rate basically, and you use that to approximate how many hours you would put into a given kind of piece.
Yeah.
So my rate does vary from shirts to album covers because I kind of basically charge by real estate. Like if I have to cover more ground with like that kind of detail I do, then I need to be paid more. It's just going to take a lot longer. It's going to be a lot more neck pain. It's going to, it's going to be a lot more hours sitting at the studio table drawing or painting. So I charge more for that. And then I also, like, in addition to the hourly rate, the materials cost. If I'm doing an oil painting, it's just astronomically more expensive than an ink drawing, so I have to charge more because my consumables, like, not even talking about the stuff that I, just like your basic stuff, like tubes of oil paint, but your like consumables, like I need shop towels, I need gloves, I need to replace my brushes, I need to buy a new hardboard panel for every single painting commission. Like, I've got to pay for my Adobe, Creative Suite subscription, like all that shit. I factor that into my price. Like, I've got to be able to take away enough of it to sort of be able to pay my bills. So I do charge differently for each kind of piece, but my understanding, the way that I think about it is like when you come to me, what you're definitely getting from me is hours of work. Like I am going to put in quite a few hours of work, even on a t-shirt design. I'm going to put in quite a few hours of work. I try not to like drag things out, but things like paintings, I don't work quickly. I can't work quickly. I put in a lot of hours and they don't go quickly because that's the nature of the medium and the kind of work that I make. So I do charge for the time basically.
Mm-hmm.
And nobody's, like I said, no one's really ever complained to me about it. Honestly, I've had a few people last year tell me they think I'm too cheap. So I'm just continuing to raise my prices.
Yeah.
I think
depends on where you're at in your journey. Like, I mean, if I can just interject a little bit, I agree with both you guys. Just like, kind of know where you're at. Looking online is difficult because everyone's kind of at different skill levels too. And like, that should definitely be part of the pricing. So kind of knowing roughly where you're at, not only just in terms of skill level, but being known. And don't set your prices too low that you're getting ripped off. But at the same time, like,
value your work and other people will value it. But also, like, it comes down to a thing like my prices go up mostly because I'm trying to like filter out less serious requests. Like I'm trying to, I want like the higher prices are because I can't possibly meet every commission demand I'm getting. I have to turn down work on a fairly regular basis. And, I don't want to turn down work, but price is like becomes kind of an easy way to help ease that. Like people who are kind of less committed, I'll go, oh yeah, maybe we'll come back to you when I've saved some more money up or something,
Yeah, you have to work.
Like, but before it was less of an issue, and so, I was kind of happy to get every job that came to me at that point. So my prices were a little bit lower then.
You eventually learn to say no. I think it's important to learn that. I mean,
it is really important to say no.
Getting started.
Basically, you can't like run like a freelancing business without being able to say no.
Right.
That's what I'm learning.
Yeah,
it's like your second most important skill after drawing.
I think in terms of like value for art, some of the like corporations and bigger companies, they'll have a budget usually that they present to you. So then you just work with whatever budget they throw at you most of the time.
Like,
unless you feel like
I've done stuff for Metal Blade and they have a budget, and I basically charged like double or triple what I normally charge, and it's fine.
Yeah.
They don't bat an eye at it.
Yeah, most companies. Yeah, most of the bigger companies, they're offering you more than what you normally charge anyway, so you don't need to really negotiate anything, just generally speaking. But I think the most lucrative gig is when you can get a percentage of a cut of a product release. Like if you're doing a product that has where you get like 5 or 10% of the cut of sales or something like that, assuming it's like usually like clothing industries where this happens more frequently.
Yeah.
That's lucrative because you might not get the money like right up front, but over time and depending on the shelf life of the product, it's a residual income, and then you ultimately end up probably paying yourself more than what you would normally pay or charge for like a flat rate or something like that.
Right.
So that's like a pretty ideal gig. It's not a frequent one, but if you ever have that kind of opportunity as an artist or illustrator, I recommend it as an option. If it's worth a try. But yeah, I just do flat rate, but I get where you're coming from, Lucas, especially with like the painting, and that's a lot of time. Like I did that warm painting last year. It's a lot of time, way more time than I would spend doing an ink drawing. But it was cool. Like for me, it was a fun experiment, So,
Yeah.
but I didn't know like how much time it would take me until I got in the weeds on it.
Right. Yeah, because things like cleanup, you don't really think about when you're doing ink drawings. Like it's a big time suck, like cleanup and setup and stuff. So.
Right.
Well, cool. Sweet. You guys want to wrap it?
Sure.
Yeah, sounds good to me.
Forgot to mention earlier when there are more people on here, but if you can like and subscribe to the channel, like the video, it definitely helps out a lot. Mark, Lucas, always a pleasure. It's always so much fun whenever we get the chance to hang out. You guys are a big part of Hat. And for everybody in the chat, I felt the chat was just like a ton of fun today. So
seemed like it was blowing up.
Yeah, like people were really enjoying it. So yeah, and if you did do any drawings, I'd love to see them and share them in my stories. But yeah, thank you everybody. See you guys.
Yeah. Thanks everyone. All right, see you guys later.
See you.